What's going on, bro?
What's going on? How you doing?
Oh man, fantastic. How's everything going?
It's going well. You mind turning your camera on for me? Or are you
Oh, yeah.
driving?
Gotcha. Well, not driving, but I'm just grabbing some food, just getting off work.
Okay. Because if you're driving, I don't want them to just take you down because they'll take your live down they'll take your camera thing down for driving, and I want you to be safe too.
Okay. Got you. No, that makes perfect sense. No, I'm just grabbing some food, man, on the way home.
Okay.
So
cool.
I saw your topic, your message. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was responding to it. Having brothers who are 28 years of marriage. You know what I'm saying? Doing extremely well, and all that, right? When I was explaining, and my one of my brother's wives and my sister, she's married, but that's because she has like older brothers, and we pretty much kept all that foolishness in check. In the Chicago area. But what I was saying to the Miss is like we were talking to a Miss, and we were stating to her that listen, majority of women are not capable wives. And she was like, okay, she was like, that's a good point. And she said, well, would you say the same about the men? And I was like, no, it's not vice versa. I was like, men are not quitting their family. 79%. Also, men are not just majority. All I need is over 50%. So I got 55.6% men who are not just having kids everywhere. I got some guys I work with who are engineers as well. And they don't work like that. If they're not married, they won't have kids. And these guys have been to
I disagree with you, but I'm gonna let you finish your point and I'm gonna get my take on it.
Okay, fantastic. Well, no, I mean, I'll land it there and see what you think about my take on it. I'm just letting the numbers drop.
No, for sure. I agree with you on the first part. Majority of women are not capable wives. I 100% agree with that. But I also don't think the majority of men are capable husbands either. I'm gonna tell you why. Number one, you mentioned that most men don't have children. That's true, but that's not because most men don't want children. It's because most men can't have children because most men can't get consistent sex based on who women choose. Most men don't have the charisma, the height, the money, the intelligence, the whatever it may be, leadership to even attract women in the first place. So that's number one. And then number two, we also have to talk about, and women operate in as well. It's not specific to a gender, but a lot of the things that men operate in is the same thing they complain about, which is the hypersexuality. A lot of men promote women that are hypersexual. A lot of men are, especially not you specifically, but a lot of guys in your generation. If you go on Facebook, you will see a AI account of a fake woman that don't even exist, and you will see hundreds of old in the comments calling her beautiful, and their profile picture they looking like that, looking dumb, and it's a bunch of old 50, 60 plus in the comment section. So that's not the behaviors of a husband because men don't prioritize hypersexual. Men don't do that. Men shame those women and hold those women accountable and make sure that we separate those from the good women. So a lot of men, although they may not have the title of okay, he may have not have children or whatever it may be, a lot of these can't be nobody's can't be nobody's husband. I mean, if it was up to you, I don't know if you got a daughter, but would you want your daughter to date the average man of the United States of America? I wouldn't. Hell no. I want my daughter to date. And not because something is wrong with average. It's because the average man in America is not the values of a husband. They just not.
So here's the thing. Now I get your point on. However, I'm a have just some slight pushback, right? Because it's not merely the fact that they don't. Yeah, I have a little one. You know what I'm saying? I teach you values and morals outside the scope of what you see as far as in America.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is this, because we've also lived in Germany. It's not like that over there in Germany. It's not like that here though. However, all I'm saying with this is the point of this. A lot of these guys are absolutely capable. Because if you think about it, and I'll leave it here and see what you think about it. I want to see, get your take on it. A lot of these women who are dealing with, are pretty much single moms and dealing with the men that they're dealing with.
Yeah.
These guys have no job. I've seen this from Chicago, Detroit to New York. They have no jobs. They have no future. They still 40 talking about what's up, G? What's going on, folks? What's going on, Lord? Hey, these women love it. They love that. You know what I'm saying? So
Sure.
on top of that, and I'm just giving a statement.
Yeah.
It's three guys around Biloxi, Mississippi. Three. Bro. Between those three, I think they have about 29 kids? Just three of those guys. And one of the dudes, he was still talking about folks, hey, yeah, my folks, this and that. I know what that means, being from Chicago. So I'm like, bro, you're 40.
Well, that kind of go in my favor, don't it? That argument would go in my favor. I mean, that's still, I was trying to argue I make because that's anecdotal, but that is go in my favor, if anything.
But no, here's why I say it swings, the pendulum swings in my favor with that.
Yeah.
That's not the majority of men. I'm giving the majority. Generalization, right? Just all I need is 50% more.
But see, I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you on that the majority of men don't have a bunch of kids. But what I'm saying is it's more than just actual tangible baggage. A lot of it too is mentality. Most of these guys are not leaders. They don't know how to tell a woman when it's time to be quiet. They don't know how to get a woman in check. They don't want to be leaders. They want to go 50-50 with the woman. Like most men today are not the men of back in the day, in your generation growing up. Maybe your father, your grandparents. These men today are very effeminate because they grew up in single parent households around their motherfucking mama. So it's not necessarily that they got a job. They can have a job, they can have no kids, they can be intelligent. But who are they internally as a motherfucking man? You know what I'm saying? Do they have their woman in check? And most of these guys don't have their woman in check. I'm gonna give you an example. It could be a man that's married, right? He got his wife or whatever it is. But let's say his wife talk too damn much. And let's say his wife walk up to somebody like yourself and his wife talking to you crazy. Well, guess what? That's putting you in a vulnerable position because guess what? You a man, so you ain't gonna put your hands on a broad, but you're gonna address that to that man. But he looking at you like, well, that's my woman talking. You need to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of guys that don't know how to get their woman in check, which affects not only their relationship, but other men around here in the world. So I don't think, especially in my generation, I'm 28. So most guys in my generation, we still a part of
my nephew's 24.
We still a part of the dating pool. So we say that the majority of single men are between the ages of 18 to 35. That's the majority of single men. Them these worthy to be no husband. We ain't even talking about the money and the job and the kids. We talking about simply mentality, bro. I ain't even
mindset.
And I ain't not even trying to flex or nothing, but just me being a man, I'm a rare breed. And I know that for a fact. And that's not the flex. It's not to say that I'm the best. I know I'm a rare breed mentally. These young ain't where I'm at. They 31 and I'm giving these advice. So that's my perspective. It ain't always just, oh, he got kids and he ain't out of jail. Sure, you got those Pookies and the Ray Rays and the Glocktavias, but you got regular everyday men out here. And I'm not just speaking on black men, but you got regular everyday men out here who ain't worth it. And it's because they think like their mama. They think like a liberal white woman. It is what it is. And
that's a new way of phrasing it. But yeah, so, maybe when it comes to like, Gen Zs, millennials, you know what I'm saying? I'm a Gen Xer. So maybe when it comes, down to that, maybe that's what it is because
majority, yes. We the majority of the single men. So majority, not to say that y'all but majority, yeah, it's gonna be my generation.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, man, I was just shooting through because I peeped out, slight aspects of your content.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let me see what's going on.
So I respect you coming up, respect you getting on camera, and much love to you, man. Much respect to you.
Oh yeah, have a blessed one. See
you. Likewise. Shout out to him. He made some good points. But yeah, my thing is just like, man, most of these little young dudes, and again, the young dudes are still part of the dating market. Man, these dudes from 18 to 35, and that ain't taking away the accountability from you dudes that's above 35. A lot of you dudes ain't either, but most men between the ages of 18 and 35, bro, they is not where they need to be in no type of way. Not even in the slightest, man. And goofy. But yeah, shout out to him for coming up though. No.
Hi. Do I have to turn my camera on?
It would be preferred, yes.
Oh, snap. I'm driving. I didn't want them to shut it off.
It's all good. What's on your mind?
I'm sorry?
I'm driving. It's all good. What's on your mind?
Okay, so I wanted to talk about the conversation at hand when we were speaking after the man had left the live with you. So I'm between like a rock and a hard place because as a woman, you want to listen to your man, but I have a 12-year-old son and he don't need to be on mommy's because I don't want, like a mama's boy. But then the man that I've been with that's raising him, that's been in his life since he was 2 years old, he kind of like stopped me from like not like disciplining him as a boy. Like if you doing something wrong, you doing push up, you doing masculine things. Because at the end of the day, like I wasn't raised with a father. I was raised by a mom, a single mother who's masculine, who had to take on a daddy role. You know what I mean? So
Give me a little bit more specific though on what you saying. Give me like some specifics of what you're saying.
huh?
Give me a little bit more. You from the Midwest?
Yeah.
Where you from?
I'm from Cleveland.
I'm from Cleveland. I know my people, bro.
But yeah, like I be trying to like teach my son, like, you know what I mean? You're not about to be on mommy's. I'm not about to coddle you or anything. Like, but I be getting stopped from doing that. But I feel like it's coming like I'm dating a mama's boy. So I feel like that's a problem. Like,
so this is not not the child's father. This is
not his biological father,
so
no.
where's his biological father?
Not in his life.
Okay, so he's a deadbeat.
Yes.
Typical Cleveland stuff. Okay. Now
Yeah.
father, not the child's father, but the man you with, what is he telling you to do with your son? Somebody, hold on real quick. Somebody said Ohio. No, we don't claim Ohio. We from the city. But go ahead.
Yeah, no. But he steps on my toes when it comes to disciplining him. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Give me
okay, so okay, let me. If he doing bad in school, right? And he's not. My kids is not bad. They very good kids. But when it comes, I'm real big on education. Like you go, whatever. But when I say like, okay, you're not doing good in this is what you about to do. You about to read these books. Like, and I'm kind of stern with my words, but you about to sit down, you about to read these books, you about to write me a paragraph about this book. I don't care about no tears. I don't care about my hands hurt, none of that. And he will step on my toes like, no, like just let him, like, no, like, no, I don't like that. And if he doing something bad, like as far as sneaking on the game, after I done told you, clean up your room and take care of yourself. Get up and during the summer, you get up, you take care of yourself. You know what I mean? You do what you gotta do around the house, and then you know what I mean?
This is my thing though. Was there a conversation that y'all had initially when y'all started dealing with each other about the way that y'all view parenting and how y'all gonna guide children?
See, the thing is, we do, but I know it's different parenting styles.
No. I'm not talking about now. I said when y'all initially started dealing with each other, that vetting process, getting to know somebody. Was this a conversation that y'all had about how the parental role was gonna operate when it came to him over your child or just children in general? Was that conversation had? And to me, it don't sound like the conversation was never had.
No, it wasn't. I can't say it was a conversation that was had. It was the way. Can I tell you how the way it happened?
Keep it
like
concise, but yeah.
So basically, he never disciplined my child. Like never disciplined my child in the beginning. In the beginning, he never did. But like it was to a point like I'm a single mother, like I need help with this boy. If you're not coming into our lives to, help me with this little boy, I didn't see no purpose of like dating you. So it took his grandfather for him to say she need help because my son was like he was a crybaby or because all he knew was mommy and my sisters around a whole bunch of girls. So he was kind of, like whiny a little bit. And his grandfather actually told him like, like you need to help her if you want to be in this woman's life. You need to help her with this son. So then he started, like talking to him. Like he didn't never put his hands on my child or anything. He would just, talk like a man to him. But as my son gets older and I am like, it's like he's stepping on my toes when it comes to my son, like with this boy.
Discipline is important, but it's how the discipline is given. So maybe the way that the discipline operates. But let me ask you this, just specifically speaking on this man, does he have any children?
No, I gave him his first child.
You got it. So y'all got to be together. So you got two kids.
Yeah.
Two different.
Yeah. And that's a little girl, so it's it's kind of different.
Well, he is different for sure, but I'm speaking on I'm asking, is there an example of how he operates? And like, does he have a routine? Is it disciplinary actions that he puts on his own children or whatever it may be? Because from what it seemed like to me is, and this is why I say the vetting process is important. You can't just go into no situation and just be like, okay, we just dating and that's just what it is. No, you gotta have these conversations. You gotta talk about this shit, especially when it comes to kids. And my thing for you is like, for you to be the mom, your grandfather shouldn't have been the one to tell you that shit or tell him that. You should have been the one to say that because you the mama. So when you was dealing with this man, it shouldn't have took your granddad to tell the man that you dealing with, you need to be in this life. Now, this is why I don't like dealing with single mamas. This is one of the reasons why I don't deal with single mamas, because of what you're speaking of. But also, too, like your grandfather shouldn't have been the one to tell me that. So what that tells me is you don't have a good vetting process. So it took him to do it when you should have been the one to say, hey, look, this is how I want to go about raising my son, disciplinary actions, things like that. How do you feel about this? That's what you should have did, and that's how you should have went about it. So now you was dealing with this guy that was probably already sexually active, messing around, and then it probably didn't start off serious. It probably started off like most Cleveland relationships. Somebody just, and we messing around, and then we started to catch feelings, whatever it may be.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
I doubt it. But at the end of the day, you want that. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, we in a situation now where the vetting process wasn't there like it should have been. So now you kind of stuck, like, because I mean, if he don't, because I think a young boy definitely needs to be disciplined. Now I think it's the way to do it. The screaming and the yelling and shit that most mothers do, that's unnecessary. Sometimes you got to go to that little boy chest, or maybe
I do. You think I'm taking him to the body?
You're a woman. You shouldn't be the one to do that. He should be the one to do
but
that.
But that's the thing. Like he do it when he wants to. You feel me?
Let me finish what I'm saying. Okay. It shouldn't be the one. You shouldn't be the one to do that. It should be him. But again, we back at square one because there is no like conclusion, or there's no foundation set on how y'all going to raise a child, or your child, or y'all's own children together. That's not a thing. So it's kind of like, it's kind of too late now. So everything you're dealing with is kind of like, I mean, unless you, because then I'm be honest with you. I'm gonna just tell you like this. I don't really got faith in most women's disciplinary actions, because most of y'all disciplinary actions are not good. They're terrible. It's either yelling and screaming or putting your hands on the boy or the girl when it's not necessary. The physical only become when necessary. The yelling and screaming only when necessary. There are so many other ways that you can discipline a child, especially a young boy, rather than just yelling and screaming. Give me that and stop doing that. They're not gonna listen, especially he's getting older. He's gonna lose respect for you as he get older, because he's a young boy. He's growing up to becoming a young man. Puberty, things like that. He's gonna have friends. He's gonna want to be talking to girls. He's gonna lose respect for you. He just is. It just comes with the territory of being a young boy when it comes to his mama. He's not scared of you. Once he get like 12, 13, he damn near the same size as you. He's not scared of you no more. So
yeah, he's like way taller than me.
How old is he?
He 12.
Yeah, he 12. So he right at that age. He right at that age where he finna start liking girls and wanting to not be around mommy no more. So maybe, because I can see if he was like maybe 4 or 5, but now that you're saying he's 12, maybe the father, not the father, but the hopefully eventually stepdaddy, hopefully y'all get married, maybe has a point as far as like not everything needs to be done in the way that you might be doing it. Now, I don't know the nuances of that. It'd be better for me to speak to him, but I mean, I don't know. I think I need, for this specific situation, I need more detail, and I would probably need to talk to the stepdad.
I'm kind of military though. Like I don't put my hands on my kids, especially him. Like I'm like military kind of.
But you be screaming and yelling.
I scream and yell at everybody.
That's not. And the reason.
But when it comes to him,
let me finish. The reason why you gotta scream and yell is because you don't have no guidance and you don't got no structure. Women that gotta scream and yell at kids every day and it's a man around, they do that because that man that's around them is not a good leader and he's not leading that woman properly. If it was my woman, I ain't finna be no screaming and yelling up in this house. You ain't even allowed to raise your voice around me. So that's what tells me is you gotta do that because that's the only faculty you have, because you can't use your physicality, you can't use your presence. That's what a man is for. So the fact that you got to do that, and then this man around you is allowing you to do that, or maybe he's telling you like kind of stop. That's what I'm saying. Either because you shouldn't even be doing that, so he should be checking that. But it sounds like what you're saying is he's telling you to just not do it at all, and that could be an issue too. So
yeah, I feel like with him, he want to do it on his own terms. So if I'm trying to like discipline him or anything, like when he step on my toes, he will take it upon himself. Like, I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then, like, he'll chastise him and stuff. But,
then let him do it.
I do.
Okay. So,
I just feel like,
has it been working out? Has the behavior changed?
Yeah. He's not a bad kid. It's just certain things. Yeah, these kids need to be disciplined. So, like, my kids, they don't do stuff. Like, they not bad kids. You know bad kids in Ohio.
Little B2B, little kids running around.
Yeah, no, he ain't one of them. Like, he not one of them. But
yeah.
Stop laughing at me. But when it's time to chastise him, yeah, he get chastised. But I feel like sometimes Like, goddamn, like you should have corrected it right then and there. Why you gotta wait until I'm about to discipline him for you to step on my toes to discipline him?
Well,
Like, and I feel like that right there, that shows a kid not to listen to mommy too, though.
He ain't gonna
I feel
listen to
like
mommy
that.
though. That's the thing. Now I'm kind of leading him more his side. I can see if he
Okay.
was 6, he 12. He ain't gonna listen to
Yeah.
mommy. I stopped listening to my mama when I got about 11, 12. I ain't gonna lie.
Wow.
Cause
That's your mom.
real quick, I want to tell y'all about a way that y'all can make some extra cash right from your phone. It's 100% legit. And I know a lot of people like do these ads and it kind of seems like it's too good to be true, but let me really put y'all on games so y'all understand exactly what it is. It's called free cash and they actually will pay you for playing games on your phone. Literally. Free cash works with app games to help them find new users exactly like yourself. And basically they're willing to invest and pay new users to play the games because they basically want to bet on the fact that you will like the game. And a lot of times people actually do like the game. And the investment for them is you end up making the app money because you continue to play the game because like I said, you actually like it. And what free cash does is they put some of that money that you earned back into your pocket. And if you already play games on your phone anyway, it's perfect because now you can actually get paid for playing games on your phone. You can make a completely free account with just an email and a password. Now y'all know about me, I'm all about transparency. It's not some get rich quick thing. It's none of that. You can make $10, $20, maybe even more depending on how much you play and what you actually play. But there are people who have made hundreds of dollars playing these games. And again, if you already play games on your phone, then it's nothing to just play games and eventually get paid for it. No matter what the price is, you might as well get paid for it. And it's completely free. You ain't got to spend no money, none of that. All you got to do is scan this QR code right here, or you can click that first link in the description and check it out and see if you can make some free cash. I appreciate y'all. Let's get back to the video. So I stopped listening to it. We don't respect you. At the end of the day, we don't respect mom after a point in that. Not to say we respect, like we gonna put our hands on you, call you out your name, shit like that. We don't respect you from a disciplinarian aspect because there's nothing you can do to me.
You can do,
I
yeah.
start to feel my own strength. I start to smell myself a little bit. I start to like get out here in this young world and realize like, okay, I got a little bit of power, not from a place of like physicality only. It's a perspective of everything. So you start to come into your own as a man. So yeah, you're not gonna listen to mom once you get to like once 9th grade hit. Most high school kids is not listening to their mama no more. You want mom? What the fuck you gonna do? You can't.
Yeah, and I was and then that's another thing. I don't have any brothers, so I don't know the boy aspect in the household when it comes to getting parented by his father. It was all girls in our home, so I get it. I get it.
Well,
thank you.
I think I'm gonna say this to move forward. If your child is not a bad kid, this man that you with, hopefully he's not a bad man. Hopefully he go to work, he come home, he handle his business. This man that you're dealing with, right?
Yeah. Yes.
He handle his business. He ain't ripping and running the streets, especially in Cleveland. Hopefully he ain't ripping and running the streets. Hopefully he got a good job. He keep himself together. He's an upstanding young man that just happened to want to be with you. If that's the case, then let that man. That's your man. Let that man leave.
Let him do his thing.
Let him do his thing, and don't be all that yelling and screaming because it's not gonna get you nowhere. That's only gonna build trauma and resentment towards that boy as he gets older from him.
That's true. Okay, thank you.
So appreciate you coming up.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
Good. I had a question. Hypothetically speaking, the type of man that you are, the caliber of man that you are, if you met a young lady and you guys was talking, you doing your vetting process, y'all getting to know each other, and say like 4 or 5 months down the road, you guys, you kicking it, you liking each other a lot, but you're still in the vetting process because I feel like vetting doesn't come overnight. It takes, in my opinion, 6 months to a year. I could be wrong. But the hypothetical situation is if while you're getting to know this young lady, she don't tell you about.
You went out. We can't hear you, so your mic just.
I had a phone call. Sorry. She doesn't, during this process of y'all getting to know each other, she doesn't tell you about her son that's in prison. How would you feel about that if you later found out about the situation?
Wait, she didn't tell me about her son, or she didn't tell me about her son that's in prison? Those two different things.
Well, you know about him, but you don't know about the situation.
Okay, so I do know she has a son. I just don't know if he's in prison.
Yes.
Okay. I would ask, like, what led up to that? Why is he in prison? And like, yeah, that's what I would want to know. Hypothetically, I don't. I wouldn't. The women with the kids stuff is. But
I
if I
already
was
know
in this
that part.
hypothetical situation,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and take you up on that. So let's say if I was okay with dealing with a woman with kids to that extent, then it'll turn into a situation where I would ask, why is he in jail and what happened?
And that would matter depending on what the reason is, would be a possible deal breaker for you.
What led up to it, because sometimes some kids they just outlaws. You can't do nothing to help them. Sometimes they go too far. Maybe the situation where you wasn't raising the kid. Maybe the kid's with the father, or maybe the kid, whatever they may be. So I think it depends on the situation.
Okay. Question: do you think that the young lady should offer that information?
You should say that,
like, up front.
I mean, I think that's a conversation that should be had. Like, if I ask, like, oh, do you have children? That's a question that I ask women. Do you have children? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, how are your kids? Like, what's the situation you got with the father? Because I'm sure if the father was in jail, that'd be said. Oh, the father, he in jail. That conversation be said. But because I think it's more when a child is in prison, a lot of parents take that personally, because it's like, damn, am I the reason that I didn't raise my child correctly and that led them to prison? So a lot of people don't want to do that, and the fact that it's being withheld is probably the reason why that's the case. So yeah, I would want to know why and why it took her so long to say that.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming.
Okay. Thanks.
Sure.
Hello?
How you doing? Can you put a camera on here?
Sure, yeah. Give me 1 second.
Okay. What's going on?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
I'm outside right now. I'm getting off of work. I had a question because I'm in a long distance, I guess, situation with this guy that I really like. He recently kind of broke up with me a few days ago.
What part of New York? What part of New York are you from?
I'm from Brooklyn.
From Brooklyn? Okay, I can hear the accent. Go ahead.
Really? I hate when people say that. I need to. Anyways, so long story short, let me stop right here. Long story short, he runs a strict program. Like, he's very no games. I'm used to dealing with people that are toxic, that want to go back and forth and stuff like that. He's not on that type of timing. I'm just reading the comments, sorry. He's not on that type of timing, and that's okay. That's one of the reasons why I like him, because he's very down to earth, and we're both so I recently gave my life to Jesus Christ. He's saved as well, and we're both equally yoked in that way. So I kind of got into an argument with him, and he told me I was being disrespectful, and I just wanted to see how you saw it. So basically, I was telling him that I feel so we've been talking for 3 months. We met while he was out here, and he lives in Atlanta. So we haven't seen each other again since we met that first time, but we've been talking almost every day. And basically, I was telling him that the romance in the relationship is lacking. So, and basically, I was telling him that if you think texting and calling is enough, then I don't feel that way, you know?
What do you mean by romance? Explain romance. I can only imagine.
We're in a long distance relationship, and I don't know, I feel there should be more cute things being done. There should be more FaceTime calls, more little spontaneous stuff, Pen Pound 2026 is crazy.
Real quick. You talking to me? Get out of the comments.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, I told him that this is my first time being in a long distance relationship or whatever. I'm kind of tired of the guys that are in my area, I guess. So, I took a chance on him. And like I said, I really like him. So I don't mind talking to him. But wait, what was your question? I'm sorry, I got sidetracked.
Because you was in the comments, but I got the comments. I actually give you what does that mean? Can you go to the quieter area? I don't know what
Oh, I'm by the train. All right.
I asked you about the romance. What does that mean when you say more romance? You said more spontaneous calls, more cute things. What does that mean?
I don't know. Maybe So for an example, I was telling him, I was cleaning up my room, and I told him that I needed a shoe rack not too long ago. And he was like, oh, no problem. Like, I'll send it to you. You know, like little stuff like that. I feel like lately, like he hasn't been like trying to check on me in that way,
So
you know?
he hasn't been spending enough money. That's your focus. You want more money being spent to buy you things.
You know what? Probably so.
Yeah,
probably so.
Let me ask you this. Cool. How long y'all been together?
It's only been 3 months.
How many
It's only
times
been
have
3
you
months.
how many times have you seen him?
We only met that one time.
Were y'all sexually active?
No. We're both
Oh, well, girl,
saved
you
and
need
we're
to get
both.
on then. Oh yeah, you crazy as mother. You crazy as. Did you do some cooking and cleaning when you seen him?
Can I say something
Did you
though?
do some cooking
We're
and
both.
cleaning? Did you do some cooking and cleaning when you seen him?
Of course not. We met outside.
Yeah, you sound crazy as you sound crazy as a mother. What you think
Can
any
I say
man?
something though?
Stop. What
Can
the
I say
hell?
something though?
No, you can't. Cause I'm
Can I say something though? We both saved. Hello. You don't. Can I?
First of all,
I'm not trying to.
I'm not none of them New York, Caribbean, Dominican you be talking to. So calm down. I'm not from New York. So all that you gotta relax. I'm not none of them Dominican light skin with curly hair. Calm all that down. That's number one. I'm not from New York. Now, the second point, I want to give you a response because you want some any argument that you want to make that's not about to help this situation. You ain't did nothing to deserve anything. You ain't did a damn thing but just be on the phone. You haven't done a damn thing. So for you to think that he ain't spending enough money for you, what the hell have you done to deserve some money outside of just being there? You ain't sucking, you ain't cooking, you ain't cleaning, you just existing. So what will make you think any by the way, she's still talking while I'm talking. She just on mute because she just most of these New York women, not all of them, but a lot of them like that, they don't know how to calm down. What the hell make you think any man is gonna do for you when you ain't doing nothing for him? I don't see nothing wrong with a man taking care of his woman, paying for stuff, flying you out, buying you things, flowers, and take you on trips and dates. There's nothing wrong with that. So don't get my words twisted. If anybody listening to this, ain't nothing wrong with taking care of your woman and splurging on your woman if you want to. You should if she's a good woman, but that shit is earned. You don't just get it because you exist. Y'all been talking for 3 months. You ain't did a damn thing, but you expect him to buy. He went and bought you the shoe rack. He ain't have to buy you. So any little thing he did is an extra. So this whole notion that you're saying he should just do well, he don't got to do nothing for you. He don't have to do anything for you because you haven't done anything to earn it. Now you can give your perspective. And don't get off this mic and be disrespectful. Go ahead, give your perspective.
Respectful. I'm not a disrespectful person. I know I'm from New York and everything, but I'm not like most girls in that way. And to say something about the Spanish men comment, I don't talk to Spanish men at
I
all.
didn't say you talk to Spanish men. I said these New York. I'm not none of these Dominican, Spanish, light skin, curly hair, Dominican, Puerto Rican that a lot of you New York women be talking to. That y'all talk to them crazy. I'm a Black American, so I'm just saying don't get it twisted because you're not talking to none of them New York men. That's all. But if you don't
I
talk
know
to
how to
Dominican
talk to
niggas, cool,
women.
congratulations. Let's get to the next point.
Okay, what I was trying to say before you went off on me was that we are both saved. So we both do not want to have sex until marriage. That is both the things that we both decided. He has had past relationships before being saved. I have had past relationships before being saved. That is one of the things that we initially connected on. So it's not about that. And again, he has sent me money before. All right, yes. My BC era, my before Christ era, I still have that up.
So I just find it funny that women like yourself love to talk about Jesus Christ, but when it comes to lust and vanity, all of that goes out the window. I just find it real funny how y'all are so saved. But if I go to your page,
to take that down. Let me sit on this.
I will want you to take it down. Because if this person that claim to be oh so saved like you are will not still have pictures and videos.
I don't look a mess, my love. I look great.
You're not talking to the comments, you're talking to me. With your hanging out, turning around and showing your hypersexualizing yourself. So if anybody is saved, this is not the behavior of somebody that's saved. I find it funny how it's only I'm Jesus and I'm saved whenever it's not doing something for a man. So I'm not going to give you sex, but I still expect you to buy me stuff, take me on dates, talk to me all day, protect me, provide for me, and be the husband before I become a wife. But anything that I have to do as a wife, I'm not going to do. But what I will do is I would expose my body for random on the internet and then claim that I'm supposed to be so holy and I'm holier than thou. You want some, and that's why I'm calling it out. I'm just addressing and putting a mirror on your. So take accountability and understand that you need to change your behavior.
You know what? I don't have nothing to say to that. I don't have nothing to say to that. You're absolutely correct.
For sure.
You're absolutely correct. If you, again, I should have took that video down.
It's a lot more than that, Alicia. It ain't just that one. It's a lot more than that on your page.
All right, but if you look at, okay, I don't have no excuse. I don't have no excuse for that. I do need to take those videos down. You're absolutely correct.
There we go.
You are absolutely correct. I do need to take those videos down. In my defense, if you look at the year, it was about 2 or 3 years ago, that specific video. But you absolutely right. You absolutely right about that. You're right. You're right. I'm just saying that I'm not that person anymore, contrary to what my social media is showing.
But this is the thing.
So
who is anybody to say that that's the case? If you was,
and again,
if you was, you can say that you're not that person no more. Cool, great, congratulations. But that's how you operate in your own life with your relationship with you and God. But as the man, that doesn't hold any weight because the behaviors don't exude that. And what I'm telling you is, to your main point about him doing more. Well, last time I checked, that is
yes, I'm taking accountability. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, the next time, Alicia, that you negate what I'm saying, you get in the comments, I'm gonna just drop you down. Because when you having a conversation, I'm not looking at the comments not one time. I'm giving you my full attention. So I would expect the same thing. It is not that man's obligation or job to do anything for you. Nothing. It's not his obligation. Y'all only seen each other once. He don't owe you anything. So for somebody that should be so holy, your focus should be on his relationship. Since you saying that you're a child of God and now you're a Christian and you saved, that your focus should be how he does with the relationship between him and God. Now how much he paying for some. That should be your focus. And if you found a man that's also of God, then that's cool. And focus on your level on that. Not he ain't paying for stuff enough that I like, and that's why I don't want to be with him. That's the truth. That's dumb. Go ahead. You got the flow.
Okay. Thank you. So it wasn't necessarily about money. Yes, I will take accountability again because I'll go ahead and take accountability for everything. It wasn't necessarily about money per se. Like for me, for example, if it could have just been like, oh, like let's FaceTime together at the park. We've done this before. Like FaceTime together at the park. I have my own meal. You have your own meal. And we kind of look like we're in the same place together. Just like the little things. Yes, I do have a toxic past to where like I am always used to talking to men that always give me stuff and give me money. Like, and again, like I said, I'll take accountability for that. That's not the type of relationship that I want anymore because that does come with the price. And I have realized that. And to say before, again, don't come at me. Because again, like I know I'm from New York, but I'm soft at the same time. So I was getting stuff before I was obviously eventually I did do that in a lot of the situations that I was in, but it never had to be that initially. Like people just did stuff for me because they wanted to do stuff for me. Like different romantic things, bills and stuff like that. Again, that's not my prerogative anymore. That's not my focus anymore because I do want a serious relationship. I do. But again, I was just sad about it because I lost him and everything. And I was just like, dang, like this is actually somebody that I would want to be with. Yeah, so.
Are you crazy?
A little bit. I am. I'll admit that. I am. I'll admit that.
Okay. Ma'am, you are not equipped. You are not equipped to be with any man of value right now. And I don't know if you ever will be. And this ain't to be disrespectful. This ain't to be rude. This is just me. I've spoken to thousands and thousands and thousands.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
And it's just not. You just. How old are you too?
I'm 28.
Yeah, it's too late. And this is the problem. And why, if anybody was wondering why men care about a woman's past, this is exactly why. Because everything that's happening right now, everything that you're spewing, everything that you're speaking on, your mentality, the way that you operate, the way that you view relationships, is all based on your past experiences of men who you dealt with that your mental up. So any woman that wanted to know why men care about your past, this is exactly why. Because unfortunately, your past has a direct correlation to your future and how you're gonna operate and how you're gonna exist. And we just seeing the aftermath of the past relationships that you've had. But go ahead.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. I'm taking accountability for that. I'm taking accountability for the past relationships that I have been, and I'm realizing that I do want something different. It's not too late for me. I have a great career. Okay, I know you, I watch you. So I know you're going to say something about that men don't care about that. But I will say that on the contrary, I know I do look crazy right now, but I do have my head on straight. I'm just a little bit anxious because it's mad people on here and
Yeah,
whatever.
nobody cares about your career. Nobody cares about your money. Nobody cares about your education. You know what a man that's gonna care about that want to be your husband? He gonna care about how attractive you are. He's gonna care about your sexual history. He's gonna care about if you're feminine, soft, nurturing, if you smoke, if you drink, if you have connected on the internet, not posting stuff like this. He's gonna care about all of these things. That's what he's gonna care about. He's gonna want you to be modest, respectful, know how to cook, clean, and shut up. And if that ain't something that you're gonna be willing to do, then he ain't gonna be wanting to be with you. He will be willing to spend upfront money on you, which you would used to, which is why you don't even see that that's a toxic mentality and why your past matters is because he willing to just do it easy. He go $2 let me get some.
I did say that. I see that.
Okay. I'm not saying that you're selling your vagina. I'm not saying that you sell the pussy. You might be, but I'm not saying that you are. What I'm telling you is men don't give a damn about none of this shit you're speaking of. And you don't meet the qualifications for a man of value. You're gonna get nothing but your time wasted, unfortunately. And it's really your own fault. You can get the last word though. We'll go to the next person.
I watch you, so I know this is how you talk and stuff like that. So I'm not really offended at all. I don't take it. I know that there's a man out there for me that's going to give me exactly what I want. And like I said, it's not too late for me. I don't have kids. I'm great body, great mental, great money. Like I'm gonna be straight. So thank you though.
If you say so, much respect. Good luck to you, but I don't see it happen. And notice the things that she said that make her valuable: great body, great money. She didn't mention anything about I'm feminine, I'm nurturing, I'm soft. I want to be a wife. I want to be a mother. I want to take care of my children. I want to turn a house into a home. She didn't mention about being a wife. She sound like a dude. If you ask a man, what makes you valuable as a man as far as being a husband, he'll mention a bunch of things, but he's definitely going to mention his money. He's definitely going to mention him being established. She's turned into man that she want to be with. And the only thing that she sees out of men of value is just money, which is why she willing to leave this man, or this man left her, didn't want to deal with her, because the whole focus is he's not buying me enough stuff, which she admitted to in the initial conversation. So this is what you see with a lot of modern women, unfortunately. It's too late for you. And another point that I want to add on too, because you said that it's not too late for me and it's gonna be a man exactly like I want. No, it's not. Nobody in this live that's listening to me right now is going to have a person exactly as your mental has created it fit to be. Because the person that you want, a lot of times, is not the person that you need to be. The person that you want is probably not the person that you're supposed to be with. The person that you want might not be a good father. He might not be a good husband. The person that you want, fellas, might not be the most attractive woman. She ain't going to have the biggest booty. She might not be light skinned with curly hair. She might not be dark skinned with the chocolate skin tone. She might not be. Everybody going to have a flaw. So exactly what you want, that doesn't exist in real life. Everybody in this, agree with me or disagree with me, is gonna come with a flaw, and that's the problem with most of the way that a lot of y'all date. This includes men and women, but specifically women, because y'all are fed delusion in modern society. You believe the man that I've created in my head since I was 14, that's the man that I'm gonna be with, and he's gonna be with me no matter what my attitude is, no matter how much I weigh, no matter if I cook, no matter if I clean, no matter who I used to be before. He's gonna be with me regardless. That's not reality. That don't exist. And if he do exist, guess what? He got to be super. He got to be Batman. And then him being Batman, you don't even feel like you got to put in the work for Batman. Batman should just buy me. You ain't got to cook for Batman. You ain't got to clean for Batman. This nigga just supposed to just be super. He got to climb trees and fly and be able to shoot webs out of his wrist like he's Spider-Man. To have the Thor's hammer, all type of weird got to do. And he got to be a Christian. And he got to be a child of God. And he got to have a PhD. And he got to be a hood. And he got to be dark skinned, and he got to have a full beard, and he got to have a, and he can't have no hoes, and he got to be faithful. He got to be super. Now, that's not for all women. I'm not coming at all women. So for the ladies in here that this don't apply to, I'm not talking to you. Don't take offense to none. I'm talking about women like her, or women with the mentality that operate like her. If this don't apply to you, I'm not talking to you. Don't take offense to none of it, because all women are not like this. I'm talking about that modern woman delusion. And some of you think like this too. And that's because you was around your mama too much and your daddy was.
Doing? Oh, how do you turn the camera on? Okay. Can you see me?
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, good. Hold on. Let me try it again.
Right. There we go. How you doing?
Yeah. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. What's on your mind?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
I said I'm good. What's on your mind?
Okay, I wanted to just share a piece that I heard you say, and I actually agree with you. Um, and I think if people would think about what you're saying from a logical stance versus emotional, then they would probably agree with you too. Now, though I come in as a licensed therapist, so I do see things just totally different. When you say value, when you think about the word value, it's something that we hold, something that we deserve, that's deserving, right? And for most people or women wanting, I want it exactly this way, that is impossible to happen because we have two individuals that have two totally different cultures. And I'm not talking about the fact that you're brown and I'm brown, we should share the same culture, because that's not true. I'm a mother of 6. They're all adults, but each one of them would tell you something different about me. Do you know what I mean? And they were all in the same home, because the culture is really about how you were raised and how you were treated in your home and outside of your home. It gives you a narrative, right? So there is no such thing. I've been married for 20 years and he is not exactly what I want and I'm not exactly what he wants, but I like him and I love him and vice versa. So we understand that there's going to be some things that we're not going to get, and that's okay with me, right? And we just work with each other. And it's good, but it's not always good. But we work with each other. So I just wanted to say, I'm not sure, outside of them being emotionally led, why they're having a hard time understanding this very simple thing that you're saying. But as a woman, I wanted to get on and tell you, I hear what you're saying and you make perfect sense.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
No problem.
Shout out to you.
Bye.
A couple points to what she said. Number one thing I notice is married women tend to always agree with me. That's number one. Number two, notice in the way that she speaks. Notice the like the articulation in her voice and the word, the way that she says her words. Pay attention. That's what I pay attention to. I pay attention to how somebody communicates. She mean what she says. She ain't coming here for to be no damn pick me. Most of you women call it, or some of you women. That's a woman with a husband. And she been married for 20 plus years, which means she know how to be and work and operate within a long-term relationship. And she's educated with her therapy or whatever she went to school for. I don't want to get too much in her business, but it's funny because most of the time, the women that disagree with me that have so much issues with what I'm saying are women that are single, low level of intelligence, or if they do have a high level of intelligence, like a so-called education, which having a degree don't make you intelligent. But it's always women that don't operate in anything that got to do with being a wife. So they take what I'm saying and they purposely twist what I say, or they get mad at it because I'm speaking exactly about them. It's real simple on what I said, man. It's real simple. So shout out to her. Shout out to her for coming up. And somebody said my mic is low, probably because I'm sitting back. YouTube. Shout out to the YouTube people, but shout out to her. She know what I'm speaking on. And yeah, man. It's real simple. It's not a hard concept to understand.
Listen, wait a minute. Okay, so the only reason that I'm still here is because I was told that I didn't have enough patience to stay and listen to foolishness, right? And I stayed. And I'm okay. So let me just say this. There was at least 3 or 4 different topics. One of the main reasons why individuals, and I won't just say women, because I've seen it with men and women.
It's men too, yeah.
Right. And I heard you say that a few times. But one of the reasons that, because everybody can communicate, but everybody does not know how to effectively communicate. And that's where the gap is. There was a topic that was being said, and I put in there, but you have so many. So I'm like, I know he's not going to see this. And I'm like, I know he's smart enough to know what she's doing. This is no longer a conversation. This is just keep me on. Let me just keep going. It's entertainment now, right? But I do want to say this, and this is for the women. The men want to catch it, they can. I created a quote to help people understand the difference. Every girl, hear me, will grow to be a woman. That's inevitable. But every woman will not learn to be a lady, because that's a skill. It is a skill in being a lady. And so I looked in the comments. It was like, oh, she's already been chosen. Okay, let me run this back. Before my husband chose me, I still thought the same way, right? It could be because I was raised with 9 boys. I don't know. It could be. I don't know, but I still feel the same way. Most of us are emotionally led people. And that's where all of our logic come from. I'll give you a small analogy to just tote with you. Most people have been in a car and you got the big window. What's that? The windshield?
Yeah.
Right? And then you have the little small windows on the side, right? If you are driving and you stare, Joy, hold on, because I know
Blessings 3,768 super chatted $5. Respectfully, counselor, she is not a monolith and she was not acting.
That was to you. They said
okay.
respectfully, they don't think that she was a monolith, which she's definitely not, and I don't think she was acting either. Now sometimes I let stuff go a little longer just because it's content at the end of the day, but that she really felt like that.
Yeah, I have to disagree. I really think at first she really was like, but then I noticed the shift because I'm listening to what she's saying. It was not really wanting to say because she knew she was done. The conversation would have ended.
I think, and I'm not saying this to be rude or anything, but I think because you've been married for 20 plus years, I don't think that you really understand how deep this modern behavior goes with both sides. There are so many women that think exactly like her, and men too. I don't think you understand how deep it is because you've been married for so long. It's really our generation is idiotic, and no disrespect to her, but her mentality. I'm not saying she's stupid. Her mentality when it comes to this is very much so idiotic, and a lot of our generation think like that. I don't.
You know what? And I would say again, you're 100% correct. Because a lot of the stuff I am so far removed with us, I'm like, what is happening here? Is that real? That can't be real. So you are right. So just to respond to what you guys were initially talking about, and I had to write it down. So I'm like, I'm getting lost that we've jumped to 4 different subjects. I do not believe that being married is a prereq for offering sound guidance. I do not believe that you have to be married in order to tell someone about marriage. I don't believe that. It's not a prereq. You can do that. You have lived experience and then you have just, vicarious experience. So I have to agree with you again. I'm trying not to agree with you so much, but I'm like, well, geez, the young man he's really on to something. So no, you do not have, that is not a prereq in order to give someone sound advice, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. I appreciate you coming up again.
So, very welcome. You have a good one.
Likewise. And let me make this point too. For all the people who do believe that it is a prereq and you disagree with her, that means you'll be destroying your own point because she married and been married for 20 plus years. So that means if you don't disagree with her, you will be destroying your own point because she is married and you not. So you back to square one with agreeing with me. Thank you very much. Now, and by the way too, most marriages end in divorce. So if the logic is that that's the case, then the majority of people that's married right now shouldn't be given no type of respectable advice because statistically they're going to end in divorce. Come on, man.
Hey, Aaron.
What's going on?
Wow. You can't keep a real one down. I can just say that much. How have you been?
I've been well. I've been real well. How you been?
I've been good. Wish you'd come back to Vigo, but I know you on to bigger and better things now.
100%.
Okay, I love that. I'm happy for you. What's the topic today?
We doing the same thing we usually do. You know how we do it over here. You already
know. Okay. Well, I just wanted to say hi.
So I appreciate you, and we miss you on this side too. We gotta chop it up. Do your thing now. All right. And I appreciate you.
Oh, for sure.
Sure. How you doing?
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good. All right. I don't know if my camera's on.
It's not on right now.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
There it is. I'm doing my hair, so nobody say nothing about me.
We love that. But I was just about to say, we love that hairstyle. We love that natural glow on you. Good job. We like that.
Thank you. I came out here like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, my friend likes you. And he was like, get your ass off here. Yeah. You tell my friend.
You just lied. That ain't what happened. I remember that.
What happened?
You didn't say nothing about your friend like me. You said
she did. Oh, she thought you funny. You right?
Oh no. Let's put out the facts. Don't be capping up here. You said your friend liked your content. Your friend told you to come up on a live to talk to me about whatever it is. And then I said, okay, well, I appreciate that. What's going on? And then you said, I don't know. What do you want to ask me? And then I said, girl, tell your friend to kiss my ass. I ain't tell you to.
That's not nice.
Well, it ain't nice, but it's also don't make sense for me to have you up here and you ain't up here. I told you to tell your friend to kiss my ass.
Well, now I have something to say because last time I was a little nervous.
Whoa.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I don't come ready to fight. I just come ready to ask a little bit of questions.
Go ahead.
So, thank you. So, why do you? Because, okay, why do you feel like you can tell women if they're wifey material if you don't have a wife?
That's a great question that you asked. Now let's ask this. Let's see if your logic applies across the board. Do I have to have cancer to be somebody that tells someone things that they can do to stop cancer? Do I have to be fat to tell a fat person what you can do to get in shape? Do I have to be tall to tell, or do I have to be short to tell short guys, hey, most women are not going to like you because you're short? I'm just curious on if your logic applies across the board. So do I have to have a job to tell somebody? It probably was in your best bet to get a job if you want to create income. Let's see if you say no to all of those, and then you'll be able to uphold your initial point. I'm just using.
Okay, I'm trying to remember everything, but logically, if you are a doctor, then yes, you can advise someone about cancer. But if you have no medical background, you don't know anyone who had cancer that like cured their cancer, then no. If you, what was the second one? If you were fat, if you aren't fat, but you have been fat and now you're not fat.
Let's just say I wasn't fat. Let's just say I wasn't fat.
That's what I'm saying. If you wasn't fat, but you were fat.
No. Let's just say I wasn't fat. I'm not fat.
Oh, you've never been fat.
Let's just say I wasn't fat, or I'm not fat. It's a hypothetical person. You're not fat, but you're telling people who are fat that they need to eat healthy and get in shape and get on a nutrition plan and get on a diet and go to the gym to lose weight. Would I be able to tell them that because I've never been fat?
I feel like if you're a nutritionist, if you're a doctor, if you're a person that took the little, what is it called when you're a trainer? If you took the test to become a trainer, then yes, you can. But if you have no experience with like losing weight, you've always been naturally fit, and then you just so happen to keep yourself up, then no, because it's like you have to walk through certain parts of life, or at least have the exposure to be like, okay, you can be a wife if X, Y, Z.
Great. 2 questions for you. Where's the test or the school that you have to go to learn how to give dating advice? I'm listening.
You don't have to go to school, obviously, unless you're a psychologist. But you could have.
Psychologists don't give dating advice. They psychologize people. That's not dating and relationship advice. That's not the same thing.
You could be a marriage and family therapist.
Yeah, but a therapist is different because they're operating under the basis of people's feelings and how to operate and channel feelings. I do dating advice, relationships and dating, right? So I'm dating, I date, and I've dated a lot of women. And I've been around a lot of different places. So that's where my experience comes from. And the next question I'm going to ask you is this. Do I have to be sexually assaulted to stand up for people who've been through sexual assault? Do I have to be poor to stand up for people who are a part of the poor?
Okay, you can't ask me too many questions at once. I'm going to forget.
I'm just asking you 2 questions. I'm asking.
No, you don't have to. You're right. You don't have to. Right. But what successful experience are you speaking from? Do you have like married parents? Are your parents married?
You said, what's the successful experience when it comes to somebody who's speaking about and standing up for people who've been sexually assaulted?
That's different though.
No, it's not different. The logic is applying across the board. The point of the matter,
if you're telling people not to.
Listen, the point of the matter is this. What you can't do is come up here and tell me where I'm incorrect at. The only thing that you can do is try to knock me down to say you saying stuff. But it would be different if you came up here. Like, I don't have to be a mathematician to tell you that 9 times 7 equals 63. I don't got to be a mathematician to say that. I can still be correct, even though I'm not a mathematician. So what I'm doing is I'm giving you my logic across the board. So tell me that my math is incorrect. tell me that the perspective that I'm giving is wrong and actually challenge my point. Don't try to say, well, you poor. How you gonna tell people to not be poor? Well, is what he's saying incorrect? So you focusing on a personal attack perspective. Let me just go at the person. Hold on. I'm gonna give you a floor, I promise you. You do what a lot of women do, and some men do it too. A lot of old dudes speak like this. A lot of the old don't like my content on YouTube. They come from this perspective. Well, you a little young, you don't know nothing. Well, first of all, you don't know me to know what I know. Number two, you don't know to my experiences. But number two, you're not attacking my points. You attacking the person. You're not attacking the points. And I find that funny from the same demographic who get advice from gay men. Y'all get advice from gay men. Y'all tell a gay men to let y'all know. Y'all ask gay men and y'all to get advice from lesbian women. So I find that funny that like Sergeant Santana can give y'all dating advice and y'all listen to it. But if a straight guy says, I ain't say you, I said demographic, meaning women.
Okay.
Y'all will listen to gay men when it comes to advice. But when it comes to a straight man, you asking him about his relationship status. I don't know, I find it funny. But go ahead.
Only because I did not agree with the fact that you told her it was too late for her because she's 28. I don't agree with that type of thinking, because if we are Christians and you were speaking on Christian men, so I would hope that you have a little bit of.
What did the conversation wasn't about Christianity?
No, but she was saying something about like she wanted a Christian man, right?
Okay.
Okay, so if you're a believer, then you wouldn't feel like anyone is ever too far gone to like.
That's not true at all. Are you crazy? Let me ask you that. Where they say that in the Bible?
In the Bible, that
where does it say in the Bible that no matter what somebody does, and when it comes to relationship and marriage, you should still deal with this woman no matter what her past has entailed? Where does it say that?
Literally, that's literally why Jesus died for our sins.
No, you're arguing. No, that's not. No, that's Jesus. Man is not.
You gotta let me make my point. You gotta let me make my point.
You're bringing up Jesus. Man is not Jesus. Man is man. So you're asking, when I ask you, where does it say in the Bible that a man, no matter, well, let me just ask you this. Let's just see if you agree with this, since you're a Christian. Can a man be a homosexual and then be like, well, I used to suck and take it from the backside, but now I want to be with you, Tyler, or Tyja, every say your name. Are you going to be with that man?
Okay.
Thank you. So the Bible talk, the Christianity talk, and all that other BS. You know, it's a simple question. Since you're using that logic on the flip side, I'm using your logic across the board. So I'm just giving you my answer. Stop. I'm just giving you back the same logic. Would you be with a man that used to suck and take from the back and tell you, I've changed, I'm a child of God, I denounce homosexuality, I'm not gay no more, I want to be with you, Tyja? Are you going to be with that man that used to be a power bottom? Will you be with him, yes or no?
I feel like we are doing that thing where we just go extreme.
It's not extreme. Your logic has to apply across the board. That's how logic works.
Across the board,
extreme or not extreme.
I'm not. Wait, am I screaming?
No, I said it doesn't matter if it's extreme or not extreme. I'm giving you logic. I've given you about 15 to 20 different logical perspectives, and every single one you just throwing out to the window like it don't exist.
No, I'm trying to make my logical point too, but you're not listening to me.
Because we don't have to go back and forth. I'm just giving you logic to see if you actually believe what you say. So if you believe
I do feel like if someone was gay,
I'm asking you.
And they are saying,
I'm asking you.
Yes, if there was a man that said that he was gay, but he's now born again, washed, his sins are gone, and he's a new child and he's no longer gay, yes, go be with him.
No, I'm asking you. Would you be with him? Not go and somebody. Are you gonna be with a man that used to be gay and he not gay no more? Yes or no?
If I'm fully like,
I'm asking you right now, if the gay said I'm not gay no more, are you gonna be with the gay man? Yes or no?
If I'm single, but I'm
not answering the question. Are you gonna be with the gay man? Yes or no? It's a simple yes or no. Are you gonna be with the gay man?
Yes. If he doesn't tell me that he was a bottom feeder,
why do you not say now you're making up? Now you're moving the goalposts. Listen to me,
why would he tell me
how do you say your name? Is it Tyja?
That's it. It's Tyja.
Your name is Tyja. You're moving the goalposts. Your logic has to apply across the board. That's how logic works. Logic has to apply across the board. You said that if a man cares about a woman's past, basically, he's not Christian enough, because a real Christian wouldn't care. I said, okay, cool. So let's move it from a male perspective, because for whatever reason, women never can understand why men think the way they think. But see, I'm not a narcissist, so I can understand how somebody else can think, right? Because I can be empathetic towards women's beliefs and how they feel. So with that being the case, let me do it to something that I know women care really care greatly about, which is a man's masculinity and his manhood. and you know that you not finna be with no man that used to suck dick and be a power bottom, and he did that from he was 18 years old all the way up to 25, and then at 25 he want to be like, all right, Tyja, I want you to be my girl. I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I'm saved. Be my woman. You know, and that's why you want to answer the question. You're not finna be.
Well, let me pause you right there, because I feel like
okay, there are women. Give me some facts, not how you feel. Women. Don't give me how you feel. Give me facts.
Straight facts. I do. Straight facts coming from the Bible. I do believe wholeheartedly that if someone is saved and new in their Christian life, then yes, you can forgive their sins. And for one, we shouldn't even be going back to that. Like,
if you're with their sins, that's not the point that I just made.
I'm saying like God.
We're not arguing about God. We're arguing about man. We're talking about woman and man.
And as a woman, and as a man, if you are a Christian and you are dating, you shouldn't be focused on that person's past. You should be focused on who they are now and what they're showing you. So for me, I can put it in perspective.
The only way that you have to know about somebody's now is what they past have entailed. That's why you won't answer the question when I ask you, would you be with a man that used
because you got to ask me something that's going to be related, like relative.
It's related, because don't y'all say a whole bunch of men are DL? So no, it definitely much is related, because y'all speak about that all the time. You got to say the average black man. I ain't saying you, but a lot of women love to say that men, specifically black men, are all DL. So it's funny, from the same demographic. I'm not speaking on just black, I'm speaking on women in general. From the same demographic of women who say that a bunch of straight men today are actually hiding their sexuality, but these are the same men who you believe that in your construct of your life, you believe that people should accept people no matter what their past is. So no matter if he was a homosexual, no matter if he was a homosexual, no matter if he committed murder, no matter if he was a rapist, no matter if he was a child dealer, no matter what it is, it's all about being saved under the eyes of God, right? So if he was gay, if he was if he was a murderer, if he did all these terrible things, it don't matter, because he's new and he found God. And you know in your heart of hearts, you're not finna deal with that man. You just on some bullshit, because I'm speaking from perspective that
I'm not.
That's all you speak.
Okay, you have to level with me. So for me, I'm sure you have a past. I have, like me, I used to be a drinker. I used to drink a lot, but then I stopped.
I've never drunk a day in my life. I don't drink.
See, there you might not ever want to date somebody that is a born again Christian but used to be an alcoholic. But for me, if a man tells me that he used to struggle with, like, he had a drinking addiction and now he no longer does, I can see him for who he is now, and not for, like, you always were. You're an alcoholic, so you'll always be an alcoholic.
Right,
or if somebody's a hoe.
That's not the argument. You're making a different.
No, but I'm saying.
You're not being logical.
No, I'm not making a different argument. I'm saying, like, if a man has a past and he dated a lot of women, and he no longer does, he wants to find a wife, so he's not doing the things that he used to do, and then there's a woman that's on the same path, why would they focus on the fact that, okay, well, you used to be a hoe, I used to be a hoe? Like, you can move past that.
Yeah, we're not arguing that. We're not arguing that. I did not argue the fact that people can. Do you know what can means? Can means possibility. Nobody is arguing.
But you told her that she was done.
Stop cutting me off, because I want you to listen, because you are way off. And this is what's wrong with women. Y'all don't know how to be quiet and let a man explain things to you. Be quiet, because you're wrong. And let me explain to you how you're wrong without being disrespectful and with giving you pure logic. The argument that we have right now is not about possibility. What you arguing is that somebody can accept somebody for their past. Of course they can. That doesn't mean they have to or they should. That's what we arguing. Somebody can accept a man, that's a woman. She can accept a man if he used to be a homosexual and a power bottom. She can, but should she have to simply because she's a Christian? No. And there's no biblical text that you can give me to say, if you're a man or you're a woman, you have to accept somebody no matter what their past is. There's nothing that states that. What you arguing is somebody that wants to forgive somebody from their sins. God is the only person that can do that. So yeah, you can argue from the essence of what God believes and what he wants to forgive. Sure, that's not the argument though. I'm saying that if Tyja talking to a dude and you found out you've been with this man for 2 years, he's a great man, he treating you right, he loving, he caring, all that good, and he tells you before y'all get married, right before he get on his knee to ask you to be his wife, or let's say you already engaged. By the way, Tyja, I done been with about 10 men in my life. I used to suck. I used to be a power bottom and all that shit. So I'm just letting you know before we get married that I used to be a homosexual, but I'm saved. You're not about to sit here and tell me that, well, I don't really care because you changed now. You know that in your heart of hearts as a woman, your biology is going to take over. You're going to say, hell the fuck no. And I'm not going to shame you for it. If I was somebody that was hearing that story, I'd be like, yeah, I don't expect you to do that. Just because you're a Christian, don't mean you have to accept that. No matter if it was homosexuality, no matter if he was a rapist, no matter if he was a child, whatever it may be. Yeah, I'm going to extremes. Sure, there's different levels of that's why you mentioned drinking, because you're going to the lowest form of things that you know you would accept. Drinking, somebody that used to have a lot of bodies, because women don't really care about a man's sexual history comparative to how men care about it. Yeah, y'all care, but y'all don't care as much as we care. I went to the extremes, not because that's the only argument I can make. I went to that argument to say that if it's going to apply logically, it has to apply logically no matter what the situation is. So if he was a homosexual, if he used to touch children, if he was whatever it may be, you got to accept it no matter what, because your logic is, well, we all Christians. And that's not true. That's not true.
Okay, I'm not trying to cut you off. Are you done? Or are you not done?
I don't think you heard anything I said that was going in on the
I did. I'm listening to you. I am.
So tell me where I'm wrong at.
Agreeing with you. Gay thing.
You breaking up. You breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, unfortunately.
Can you hear me? Okay. That's so weird. Okay. All I want to say is, saying a guy is going to be a power bottom, that's extreme, because we were talking about the girl that said that her past was dating guys who spent money on them. Wait, because this is what I came to present. This is the argument that I have. The argument was that I felt like you were wrong for telling her that she was cooked and she was too far gone. So I'm saying, there will be a man that's not going to be like, oh, dang, you used to be getting tricked on. I don't want to fuck with you ever. Like, there is going to be somebody that would talk to her. And that's not the worst thing. You comparing me saying she dated guys in the past that spent money on her to a power bottom, a man that's a homosexual. And I'm not saying nothing, because there's people that would accept a homosexual if he wasn't a homosexual anymore. But I'm just saying, I don't think that it's factual or healthy to say that somebody's past matters if they are no longer doing the things they used to do in the past. We have to move past that. If they've moved past it, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but again, the only reason why you saying the only reason I brought up homosexuality is because I know women care about that a lot more than men do. For example, wouldn't you agree that if a dude said that he was bi and a girl said that she was bi, don't you think that men will accept a woman for being bi before a woman accept a man for being bi?
I feel like if they're both.
Oh my God. Get out of your feelings for a second. Get out of your
I'm not in my feelings. I'm being logical.
Stop. You're not being logical. Get out of your feelings. What gender do you think accepts the opposite gender being gay more? Men or women?
Oh, women. I mean, men. Men accept women gay.
Okay, then. So what are you still arguing? We're not arguing outliers can exist. We speaking on a majority. Women will not be with the man at the same rate that a man would be with a woman if he was bi. And the only reason why I'm bringing up homosexuality, regardless if you agree with it or not, I'm bringing that shit up because the same aversion that women have when it comes to finding out their man was DL, gay, hiding his sexuality, used to be with dudes in the past, that same feeling of just disgust that you get as a woman is the same feeling that a man get when we find out that our woman used to be a. That's the difference.
Okay.
So I'm giving you. I've been saying the same thing the whole entire time. I'm giving you the equivalent. I'm giving you the feeling that you get when you find out, damn, my used to be gay. He used to be a power bottom or a top, whatever it may be. That feeling that a man get finding like his girl used to got a train ran on her. Men will accept a woman for being gay before a woman will accept a man being gay. The same way that a woman will accept a man for having a sexual history with women before a man will accept a woman for having a sexual history with women. We're different. We're not the same in the way that we value different things. That's why I brought that up. So
you should have said that first.
I said it was common sense. You're the only one that don't get it.
Okay,
so the point that I'm making is this. There is nothing that is in the Bible or in the Christian faith that says no matter what somebody does, you got to be with them. No matter what their history is, you have to be with them. Nothing states that. You are allowed to have people that you don't want to be with and say no. You're not obligated to be with somebody just because they Christians. You're not obligated to be with that person. You're allowed to be attracted to the person you want to be with. You're allowed to care about their past. Hold on real quick.
At Truth Seeker 3,725 super chatted $5. You have the patience of a saint. I would have been hung up on old girl.
All right.
Y'all are mean.
So the point that I'm making is this. There's nothing, just long story short, there's nothing that says that you are obligated to be with somebody no matter what. You are allowed to care about to be attracted to. You could be attracted to somebody and not only operate in lust. You are allowed to care about somebody's attraction. You're allowed to care about how many kids they got. You're allowed to care about their sexual history. You're allowed to care about if they was an abuser, if they used to touch kids, if they used to abuse women or men or whatever it may be. You're allowed to care about those things while also being a Christian and not fully judging somebody's full entire character based on those things. Two things can exist at once. So if you asking me or you asking anybody, I'm going to care about certain things that got to do with a woman's past. The same way you're going to care about a certain things that got to do with a man's past. We're just not going to care about the same. Now, me, I'm different.
I think that's just judgmental. I feel like that's
you don't judge. Hold on, wait. So you don't judge?
I'm a Christian.
I didn't ask you what your religious status was. Do you judge?
No. I feel like it's my place.
Cool. Let's use your logic. If you seen a man walking down the street, he had on high heels, nails, lashes, makeup, and had on booty shorts, would you think he was gay or would you think he was straight?
Why are you asking me something like that?
Would you think he was gay or would you think he was straight?
That's not judging, though. That's just...
You are judging. That's judging somebody based on their appearance. I'm judging their sexuality based on their appearance. Would you think he was gay or would you think he was straight? Since you also don't judge, would you walk into a dark alley and see three dudes standing in the alley with hoodies on and with their eyes, with only their eyes covered, they got on all black at 2 a.m? Would you walk down to the alley or would you walk down the other place where it's lit? Since you just don't judge.
You asking me stuff and I feel like you already have the answer that you want me to say.
No, I'm asking you the answer. I'm not telling you to give me an answer that I want. I'm asking you to give the answer that you want to give. You don't want to answer the question. Listen, let me tell you what the truth is. This is why women need to be led. You don't want to answer the question because you know it's gonna go against your point. That's why every single logical perspective that I've given you, every single one, first of all, you continue to argue it because you unruly, you don't know how to cooperate. That's number one. You ain't been raised right. That's number one. That's not to disrespect you. No, listen. That's not to disrespect you. Right. I'm gonna tell you why. That's not to disrespect you. That's to say that that's the behavior of the average modern woman today. Y'all are raised by your mothers instead of the fathers because the fathers don't want to check the shit the correct way.
I was raised by my father.
Hold on.
At the lessons 3,768 super chatted $5. This is what men have to deal with that most women don't see past. OMG, she's so cute, why she's single.
That's a great point. I'm gonna reread what he said.
I'm not single and
you're not even listening. That's what I mean. Shut up. Be quiet because it's not what he said.
Okay.
This is why. Hold on.
At J 216 super chatted $1.99. This slow bay.
He said in the initial comment, thank you for the $5. He said, this is what men have to deal with most women. This is what men have to deal with that most women don't see past. OMG, she's so cute while she's single. The OMG, she's so cute while she's single is in quote. Because a lot of women don't see past that. So you'll see a woman that's really attractive and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe why she's single. Because the only thing that I will assume that you're not a homosexual. And if you're not, then you're not going to see past her looks. And a lot of women believe that because a woman pretty, she deserves to have a boyfriend. But unfortunately for y'all, and I'm not speaking on all women, I'm speaking on women, unfortunately, like yourself. More to a relationship comes with just being pretty. And men are going to have a baseline to what we look at as far as a checklist when it comes to our women. And also, too, it's funny because y'all would advise your sons to do the very same thing. Let me ask you a question. Since you claim to be not judgmental, let me ask you this last question. Would you tell your son if he had two options? One of these women, first woman is a virgin and she ain't never been with no man. This next woman is not a virgin. She done been with 25 dudes. These women are both exactly the same. Which one would you tell your son to be with? If he came in and you say, hey, mom, these women are two exactly the same. And let's just say in this hypothetical, they are exactly the same. The only difference is one is a virgin, one has been with 25 different people. Which one would you tell your son to be with?
The one that he loves the most.
I love both of them the same, Mom. It's on you. One is a virgin, one been with 25 different dudes. Sexually.
How do we love both of them the same?
So you gonna tell him to be with both?
No, I'm asking how does he love both of them the same?
Hypothetical. You don't have children. How you gonna have children that you don't have? It's a hypothetical. That's why I'm asking the question.
Okay.
Would you tell your son to be with the woman that's been with 25 women, 25 dudes sexually, or no dudes sexually? Both of these women are exactly the same.
Me personally, I would ask follow-up questions like, okay.
They're exactly the same. Any question that you ask, well, which one loves you more? Which one cook more? Which one is more nice? They're both the exact same. Personality, looks, and everything. The only difference is 25 bodies, 0 bodies. Which one you telling your son to be with?
Is the one with 25 bodies now waiting to marriage? Is she waiting until marriage now? then I would just tell him to choose the one that shows the most fruit. Like if one of them is caring and selfless,
that they're the exact same. We already established that. It's called a hypothetical. We already established they was the exact same people no matter what. The difference is 25 bodies versus no bodies. Which one you telling your son to be with?
I can't help him in this area then because I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
All right, last one. Let's reverse it. Which one would you tell your daughter to be with? The man virgin, been with 25 different women. Which one you telling your daughter to be with? Let's assume your daughter's a virgin too.
If my daughter's a virgin and then the guys, then I'm gonna have to see them. I'm gonna have to look at them.
Both the exact same. One man been with 25 women, the other one been with 0 women.
But now the one with 0 women, he probably not even gonna know how to have sex. So you probably gotta choose the one with 25 bodies.
So just so we on record, you would tell your daughter to be with the guy that got 25 bodies because he's gonna be better at sex.
Maybe.
Is that a yes or is that a no?
Okay, I would tell him to be with the virgin.
Why?
The virgin.
Why? Why would you tell your son or your daughter?
Both. I would tell both to be with the virgin.
Why would you tell them to be with the virgin?
Because they're pure and they follow God. So
that means you judge, huh?
You forced me to judge. You forced me.
I didn't force you to do anything.
I told you I wouldn't choose. I wouldn't tell him to choose. I wouldn't help him on that. I told you that I couldn't help him.
It's a hypothetical. You literally just said you would tell your son to choose the virgin, and you said why? I asked you why. You said they're more pure. We agree. It's that past matters to an extent. Past is not the only thing that judges your character, but past matters to an extent. And we talking about sex, and we talking about the realm of it. Somebody, for the most part, somebody with less experience is probably going to be better to be in a relationship with somebody else who also has less experience because it's going to be better moving forward, especially when it comes to a man dealing with a woman who has a high pass comparative to a woman with a low pass. A low pass woman is going to be better 9 times out of 10. So do you agree with that?
Okay. I agree with that.
Okay, so you did all this arguing for nothing. You finally agreed to one logical perspective that I'll get. Anything else you want to add, you get the final word.
Ladies, keep your hearts pure and don't let a man hurt your feelings and keep going.
They would have booed your ass off stage if you said that shit. Girl, get your ass out.
Bro, it was funny. It was funny.
What's going on?
Hey, man, salute to you, man. How you doing today, brother?
I'm chilling, man. What's on your mind?
Nothing much, man. Just my girl sent me a live, so I've been sitting here observing, and it's crazy to really see where we at. And it's like just a generation. That right there was crazy.
Yeah, great.
Like, why do we have to go through all of the personal vendettas versus just logical thinking? Like, just think about it. It's okay if it goes against how you feel. It's okay. But nah, I just want to, because I couldn't get it, so I just want to say, hey, man, you're doing an awesome job over here, bro.
Sure. I appreciate you coming up, brother. Much love to you and good luck. Much respect. What's going on?
Hey, what's good, bro?
What's going on? We can't really hear you like that. It's kind of hard to hear you.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Way better now. We can.
Damn. Nah, man, I just wanted to say, that it's crazy because, I just had my son last year. He's 1 year old, and I'm sad for him and his generation because I can never be able to tell him to be with it.
Real quick, if you could put your hand in front of your, like, because the wind is like blowing, we can't hear you. The wind is like bad. I don't know if you put your.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Yeah, it's windy where you at, but we can hear you now.
No, I was just saying. I was like, I just had my son last year, and it's sad because I feel like I'm wrong to tell him to be with the modern woman because she proved like that's how a lot of women think. And I'm 28, and the dating world is just a joke. Like it's not realistic. Like you said, she's dancing around the facts. And women today, they dance around the facts. And it's just sad that, I believe that there are a lot of good men out there in the world. I do believe there are a lot of bums too. But man, it's sad. It was sad seeing that, but just seeing that in the modern world today, that is the biggest problem with women. They just don't care They don't want to hear the man's
Quizzy
side.
2X super chatted $1.99. And tacos or pizza?
Go ahead.
No, man. But and then just the woman coming up defending that, saying you're disrespectful. Like that is exactly what you're talking about. You can't change that. So it's either that is born in a woman to understand what you're saying, or they're gonna say shit like that. Like the past two women that have been on here. She's defending the girl, saying that you're disrespectful when you're speaking facts. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's really all I had to say is just that's today's woman. And
Well,
it's bad out here.
Let me ask you, and I appreciate that. Let me ask you this: are you with the child's mother?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. So the best example that you will have as far as what your son should be with is going to be the mother, his mother. So as long as she operating accordingly to what she's supposed to be operating in, y'all together, then your son gonna be cool. And I seen some comments in the chat, people were saying he only won. Fathers are a little bit different, ladies. We ain't thinking about it now. We not thinking about, oh my gosh, a little bit, and he's so cute. We thinking about, all right, this two, all right. I see that leg a little turn. I don't know if that leg can move fast. Like we men, you know what I'm saying? Men think a little different. So like I said, father, like I said, I'm not a father, but men, we think about the future. We ain't thinking about the now. But I do get it, but that's what you want. You'd rather have a man doing that than not giving a damn at all. But no, for sure, I appreciate you coming up, bro.
At Quizzy 2X super chatted $4.99. Tacos or pizza?
Go ahead.
One more thing, and this is just real because I watch your content a lot, and I agree with a lot with what you say. I don't think you're biased. I think you give fair advice, and people either take it as you're agreeing with a man because you're a man, or they just, whatever their opinion is. But I got a real question for you. So my son, he is biracial. He is biracial. Yeah, facts. I want to get your opinion though, because I watch your content a lot. So I want to hear your advice, honestly. So obviously, when I first got with her white side of the family looked at me like I was, is what it is. I've never been arrested. I work in real estate. I own a mowing and landscaping company. I've always been a business owner since 21. But anyway, no matter that, they looked at me like I was, and we have a house together. All this, looking at marriage, it's hard for me. Not that I don't trust her, not that I don't think she's the woman for me, but I just don't think that it changes anything. I think things get worse when you get married. I'm pretty scared to get married. Not that I don't think she's a good woman, but I just want to hear, how do you deal with, how should I deal with moving forward if I am going to be with this woman, say, to raise my son, continue life? How do I, would you forget, not forget, but would you forgive her family for being racist towards you?
Super chatted $19.99. I love your channel, bro. I'm just playing.
People are gonna say what they want. They're gonna say, "Why do you have a baby?" Blah blah blah. I don't give a fuck. Nobody's gonna stop me from being with the person I want to be with, and that's how I do it.
All right. So look, okay, let me answer. Thank you, bro, for the support. And by the way, tacos over pizza for sure. And thank you for the donation. All right. So look, let me answer your question. So number one, you still, I don't know why that didn't change. You still, and as a man that's gonna date, look, I'm the type of date who treats you the best. That's what I say. Now what I don't like, and I'm not saying you like this, but what I don't like, I don't give a black man want to be with a white woman. I don't give if a white woman want to be with a black man. Do what you do. You want to date Latina, Asian, whatever, it's cool. The issue that I have with interracial dating is not that people date interracially. It's the way that people operate when they do date interracially. They date because, well, I don't want to be with a black woman because they too ghetto and loud and ratchet. Well, I don't want to be with a black man because they too ghetto and they commit crimes and don't take care of their kids. It's a lot of, I want to be accepted by the white guy or accepted by the white woman stereotypes that go around. If they treat you right, cool. Date your white woman. Date your white man. But you ain't got to attack me. Nigga, I don't know you or that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to attack me. Yeah. I'm sitting on a whole other side of the country, but sometimes I'm the bad guy, and I made it to where your issues didn't work out. Date who you want to date, man. Whoever treats you right, man. If that white woman treats you like a king, bro, and if you got her in check, then that's all that matters. My thing is this though. You need to understand what you putting your child in when you bringing a child into a biracial situation, or your child is biracial, you bringing them in society. Your child 100% is going to have identity crisis. 1,000%. There's no way to negotiate it. He or she is going to have an identity crisis when he around his black friends, when he around his white friends. He gonna feel accepted sometimes and not accepted sometimes. And a lot of biracials have a big issue when it comes to their acceptance and what side want to fuck with them. It just is what it is. Not even just from their parents, but just out here in the world. So you're gonna have to deal with that. Not to mention, a lot of biracial people who they date for whatever reason, I don't know why it is, but biracial women a lot of times like to date black men. Biracial men like to date white women for whatever reason. That's just the case. I don't know why, but that's just how that operates. And I think it's because what they learn a lot of times in these homes. Hold on, let me tell you. Hold on.
That Quizzy2X super chatted $9.99.
Thank you for the love, family. I appreciate you. And I think a lot of times that comes from the perspective of their parents. You know what I'm saying? So what I would tell you is this, bro. Whether it's if a son or a daughter, as far as like move forward with the relationship, you need to understand that like you need to be the one to set that standard as far as their blackness, because you're a black man. So it'll be different because you will have another black woman to help you with that a little bit different. Now, their blackness does not mean that they're going to be in poverty, that they got to be traumatized, that they got to be a Democrat or Republican. Fuck all. They need to know, your son or daughter need to know that they black, and they're going to have a different way that life is going to view them because they're not fully black and they ain't fully white. They got to know that from childhood rather than going out there in the world and f it up, or not f it up, but dealing with it because it's going to f them up. But as far as that woman, bro, she need to understand that she's not raising a white kid. She's not raising little Tommy. She raising whatever your son or daughter's name is. So she needs to understand who you are, not from a place of lust. And a lot of black men who date white women, a lot of white women who date black men, a lot of black women who date white men, and a lot of white men who date black women only deal with each other from the basis of lust. It's different, and I want to sleep with this person. But when it comes to having a child, that's completely different because it's two societies and two cultures colliding. You know what I'm saying? So that woman needs to understand that she's raising a black kid. The world is going to look at them as a black kid. Even though they may be a little light-skinned, curly hair, the world is going to look at that child as a black kid. They need to understand that. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that you got to be the one that's going to set the standard when it comes to their blackness and how they operate within this world. But if she's a good woman, bro, I'm not going to tell you not to be with her. I mean, good and don't have anything to do with being black or white or indifferent. It just got to do with the person that you're dealing with. So that's what I would say. But the child is going to definitely have an identity crisis to an extent in their life.
Yeah, and I appreciate that because, like I said, people are going to say, well, you signed up for it, whatever. But like I said, she realizes that our son is black. And that's why I appreciate her. Even though she is white, like, she's celebrating Black History Month, buying my son Black History, apparel, she celebrates his blackness. So I appreciate that. And even when her family was talking, she even said, like, either you accept this or I leave.
Well, this is another point I want to make too, and I don't mean to cut you off, but if that's the case, your son or daughter, they don't need to be nowhere around her family. Absolutely zero. They don't need to be nowhere around it because you're putting your child in danger at that point. Putting your child in a vulnerable position because they're a kid. They don't even understand the world. They don't like your kid, not because your kid did anything, simply because they look different. So you need to pay attention to that and do not think, okay, well, they've changed now. You, as a man, should not have to force your child on another family who don't want to fuck with your kid simply because on the basis of what he look like. If they feel like that way about you, then they damn sure gonna feel that way about your kid. So if anything, you need to be her family. And if she got an issue with that, then you get her the fuck on. And you got to be a man and set the tone and let her know, Samantha, look, Tom and Harry, if they don't want to fuck with us because of what we got going on, then they can get the fuck on, and it's gonna be our relationship. Now the family is not gonna fuck with you. They're gonna think you being controlling, this black guy and my daughter, all that shit. But you need to make sure you protecting your kid. Protect your lady too. If she ain't did nothing wrong, she's not the villain. Protect your lady, but protect your kid too, bro. That's your job as a man. Don't have your child over there at that house thinking that everything's sweet and everything cool. Oh, that's, man, you don't know what they gonna tell your kid. Hell no.
Yeah, and I want to commend you on that too, because that's where I was kind of going to with my other question was we're really clashing now with that because she wants to think it's changed, and I don't get lost in that. Like I said, I realize I'm like we're clashing because she wants me to come to these events, and I don't show up. And then I feel torn because like you said, you have to defend your son. So how do I not show up to these events? Then I'm in this little trance where I'm like, okay, well, my son's defenseless because I'm not there. So then I feel like I gotta show up, and then we're clashing. And so how do you go about that?
I'm gonna tell you what I would do. Not because I'm gonna tell you what I would do. I would if you and this woman are not together, I would get full custody of my child. That's what I would do. I would go to court and I would be the first one to do it because a lot of times it's not about who do it, it's about who do it first. If y'all don't work out, if you and this woman don't work out and she can't get on your program and your program is to say, I don't want my child in these vulnerable positions, if your family don't mess with my child, well, guess what? If you got proof of that, you take that to court and you get full custody of your child. Don't do half custody because then you're still putting your child in a vulnerable position. Get full, and more black men need to do this, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? More black men. Now I know that usually women in general, they gonna get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the courts and shit. But more black men, I ain't speaking on you, but as much as a lot of black men complaining about their kids and the kid will get custody of them kids, you ain't gotta have the delusional woman raise them in the first place. Get custody of your kid, bro. And be the first one to do it. Don't let her beat you to the punch because they're gonna take her side a lot of times because your justice system is set up to be on the side of the woman. Get custody of your kid if y'all don't work out. But whatever it is, you the man. You set the standard. So it shouldn't be no clash. She either gonna be with you and understand that the complexities of the relationship, that y'all have a biracial child and your family don't your child or you. And if she don't get that, she gotta go, bro. It's that simple.
Respect. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate the talk and the advice. So I really appreciate it a lot, man.
For sure. I appreciate you coming up, bro. Good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
For sure. Yeah, shout out to him. How you doing?
Hold on. I'm good. I am driving, so I can't turn my camera on. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's all good. What's on your mind?
Okay. I just wanted to ask, what's your thoughts on when people say they feel like they lost out on their person? Like, do you believe in that statement?
Lost out on a person?
Yeah, like they feel like that's the one that got away. Like, do you believe in that?
Yeah, it's people that feel like they made mistakes and maybe didn't do right with a person that they was dealing with, or maybe they were a person that was in the wrong. It usually happen over time where they start to be accountable for the fact that this relationship didn't work because of me. So yeah, it happens sometimes for sure.
Okay. I was just curious of what your thoughts were on that, because I know like some people just feel like if they were your person, then you wouldn't have missed out on it. Like, so clearly, like maybe they weren't your person.
Well, the truth of the matter is this: that's a woman mentality thing, because this is the fact. Most people are never gonna find a positive relationship in their life. It just is what it is. This ain't the 1920s, the 1950s. It's 2026. Most people gonna die by their damn self. It just is what it is. Most marriages end in divorce. Most people are gonna have negative experiences when it comes to the dating market. It's just the truth. People get lucky, sure, but if everybody had just one person that was just like somehow it's just in fate that you was gonna have somebody else, well then at that point, if we look in America, well guess what? Women outnumber men by millions of people. So by that logic, then some of y'all gonna have to share a man. And I know y'all don't believe in that type of faith and theory, so it ain't true. Everybody can't be with everybody. Everybody don't have a person. Everybody is, when people say like it's always somebody for everybody, no, it's not. Because we assume that everybody's willing to be with everybody. Everybody not willing to be with everybody.
Yeah, when I heard you say that a couple lives ago, I was like, wow, you really got a point on that. I never thought about it like that. But yeah, there's no way. Because like you say, women outnumbered. So yeah, no, I totally agree. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to take your brain on that. And just to let you know, like, as a woman, like, I appreciate what you're on here doing. It's really nice to hear a man of your age have that much, like, mental intellect. And I don't know if you get enough credit for that. I feel like a lot of women come on here battling you and they don't listen. Because you are so right. They do not be on here listening. I'll be like, girl, shut up. He's saying something. And it's not about opinions or feelings. It's facts. It's logic. So I just want to tell you as a 34-year-old woman that I appreciate what you're on here.
I appreciate you. Thank you for coming up. I appreciate you.
But whoever gets you, like, she gonna be a really lucky woman because you really are. You're very mature and yeah. So
I appreciate you very much. So you have a good one. All right. Shout out to you. What's love to her? It sounds like she in Afghanistan over there. I don't know where she at. It sounds like she is mad, and she just lollygagging down the street. They run around stabbing each other, bombs going off, shooting, nukes and going off, and she just So What we finna get to eat? Like, girl, do you not hear them? It's going crazy over there. But thank you for coming up, sweetie. I appreciate you. Yeah.
Okay. So my question to you is, what do you say to the women that are not combative, that's feminine, that has their own things and different things like that? But at the same time, you know, even being a therapist for a man, just being there for a man in all ways, right? But it still seemed like that's not good enough, as in men still want to cheat, still men want to still do this, do that. Like, what do you say to the women that is the opposite of what you're talking about and they're still not getting the results?
I think that's a good question, and I think it's at that point. First of all, we got to be honest. If we be honest in this conversation, Raven, and from hearing you speak, you seem like you could be an honest woman. Do you think that the majority of women believe that they are good women? If you got 100 million women, do you believe that at least 50 million of those women think they're good women? If you ask the average woman in modern society today, and you ask them, "Are you a good woman?" Do you think they're going to say yes or no?
Most women will say that they're good women. Like most men will say that they're good men. Yeah.
Which one do you think is going to be more likely? Like, do you think you're going to have more men that's going to be willing to be honest about who they are? Or do you think you're going to have more women that's going to be more honest about who they are? You had to guess.
I'll say men can be a little bit more straightforward than women.
Yeah.
Because a lot of women don't admit their faults in what they do or take self-accountability. But there's a lot of men that don't as well. So
we understand.
It's on both parts. You see what I'm saying?
It's on both sides, but I'm making a point towards women because you brought it up. So I think before we even break down what you're saying, we got to break down if it's actually true. So when you say the women who are like good women or women who operate in that way, well, most women believe they're good women already off the rip. And then the next point is too, when asked what makes a good woman, most women can't answer the question. I mean, respectfully, even when you spoke, you said got their own things. That's the issue of most women. A lot of women believe that they're better women because I got a degree, I got money, I got a nice car, I got a nice place. Men don't give a any of that. If anything, that's going to take you away from a man. So we got to break down what actually makes a woman a good woman. And most women don't want to operate under the construct of what makes a good woman a good woman. They just don't. They just don't. So we got to question if that's even reality. And then another thing is too, it's more than just like, okay, I do a couple things over here. You still got to be attractive. I'm gonna give you an example. There are a lot of good guys out here, Raven, that I'm sure have probably shot their shot at you. But guess what? Is there a minimum height requirement, Raven, for a man to deal with you?
Like 6 feet. I mean, I'm 5'5", so I mean, anybody's taller than me.
What's the minimum height requirement? For
six on up, like, you know?
6 feet. Now,
or 5'9", you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be extremely tall, but I'm sure.
Raven, hold on.
Yeah.
What's the minimum height requirement for a man that has to deal with Raven? What is the standard of height? Is it 6 feet?
6 feet, 6'1".
Okay. What percentage of men are above 6 feet in the U.S.?
Not much. I mean, I don't really know the percentage.
No, it's okay if you don't know. Just give me a guess. Give me a guess.
Probably, you want to say like 40%, 20%, something like that.
14.5% of men are above.
14.5.
So what you're basically saying is, no matter if you're a good man or not, if you 5'5", my name is Raven, and I'm not going to deal with you because you don't meet the height requirement. So you basically throwing away 85% of men in the U.S. already off the rip. No matter if they're good, bad, no matter what, you already throwing them out of the window. So,
that's true.
Right.
That's true, but at the same time, it's You put me in a position like that, you have me thinking. But at the same time, I attract a lot of tall men, so a lot of short men don't come to me personally. I attract a lot of tall men.
If they did come to you, they wouldn't get an opportunity because they're short. So it doesn't matter if they came to you or not. And most short guys understand that, which is why they don't go after a lot of women that maybe that's around the same height, because they know they're gonna get rejected because most women don't like short guys. So the point that I'm making is this: what you saying sounds great in theory, but if you actually break that shit down, this hypothetical good woman you speaking about is still gonna say no to the dudes that's under 6 feet, because only 14.5% of men are under 6 feet. And then what about what they look like? What about their hairline? What about if they light skin? What about if they got a full beard or not? What if they fat? What if they skinny? What if they teeth like other things. And what I'm saying, other things I'm mentioning, attraction matters too. What if they don't make enough money? What if they don't got enough swag? What if all of these other things that got to do with aesthetic is not up to par? You're not gonna deal with it. So it's more to just say, well, yeah, I'm a good woman and I can't find a man that's also wanted to be with a good woman. That ain't true. Because if a 5'4" fat guy, and you don't have to be with a 5'4" fat guy, I'm just making a point. If a great man came along, but he was a 5'4" nerdy fat guy, Raven and other women like Raven ain't gonna give it an opportunity because he 5'4" and fat, no matter how good he treats you. And the craziest part is these are the same guys that when they get into their prime, I'm not speaking on Raven, I'm making a hypothetical, but these are the same guys when they get into their prime, they'll get with the woman, or they'll finally get like in a 34, 35, 32. And guess what? They've made it now. So guess what they're gonna date? They're gonna date the version of you when you was 21 that you wouldn't want. They usually gonna have fun in they prime because they work to get to that point. So I just think it's a illogical point when you say that because it's not adding context. Women don't like short guys. The average man in the US is 5'9", 5'10". The average woman in the US is not sought after, it's going after those guys. They just not. Most of y'all want to be with dudes that's above 6 feet, that's in shape, that's dark skinned with a full beard, can fight, he intelligent, he's super. And guess what? Super don't exist.
Super nigga is funny.
Now, some of y'all will date now, sure. Not every woman is the same. But I don't like them type of dudes. It's good. Your DM. If Raven, if I paid you $100, not even that. If I just took your phone and went to your Instagram DMs or wherever guys talk to you at, it's dudes in their DMs talking to themselves right now that you would never give opportunity to because they don't meet your physical attraction instead. And I'm not shaming you for that because I don't like women I'm not attracted to either. But I can be honest to say I know that what I'm looking for, what I may want, is rare. Most women don't want to do that. They don't want to admit that they said no to 9 times out of 10. Most of the guys you're going to talk to, you're going to say no to. That's the point I'm making.
True. But at the same time, like, there's some guys that don't just come to you as in like wanting a relationship. Most guys come to you within lust.
True.
Most of the time.
That's true.
So
But that's not the guy that you want to be with.
Hold on, baby. So it's like you got to use your discernment with everything. So it's not like I'm just rejecting every guy type things, but it's just like the guys that I choose to entertain. You see what I'm saying? It don't go the way it's supposed to
Do
go.
you think that's maybe because you dating above your pay grade?
What you mean by that? Above my pay grade?
What it means is if you walk into a Mercedes-Benz store, you could test drive the Mercedes-Benz, but your credit and your income ain't high enough to be able to own it. So I think that's what happens with a lot of women. And they don't believe that their credit and their income, and I'm using this figuratively, I don't mean literally like your credit and your income. I'm saying that a lot of women don't meet the standard that they think that they at. And they believe, well, I used to talk to this dude that used to play overseas basketball and he went to the NBA for a couple of years. So guess what? Now because we slept together, we were sleeping together for 2 years, that means that I can attract other dudes at this same caliber. So guess what? I'm not about to go from Chris Brown to the janitor at a high school, but I will go from the janitor at a high school to a Chris Brown. So what happens with women is when they in their younger years, they may be 21, 24, 23, they'll date a top tier man. Maybe not be his boyfriend or girl, they won't be together, but they'll sleep together and mess around. But guess what? That top tier man has now set the foundation of what she will not go under. So if he's not under 6 feet, I'm not dating him. Why? Because I've dated men with that were at least 6 feet. Well, if he don't make at least $100,000 a year, I'm not going to 40. You know why? Because I've dated men that make at least $100,000 a year. My point of the matter is this: women don't want to go down from where they're already at or what they've had. It's like if you deprive somebody from something for a long time and you finally give them something, well, guess what? They yearn for that and that only. They need either that or more. And that's just how a lot of women think. Women don't like to date down. Y'all only want to date up. And the difference between men is, you proved my point. You said, well, these guys, they'll date you, but they just looking for sex. That's my point. They'll only deal with you for sex. They're not dealing with you for seriousness. Why? Because they only view you in that category for just sex. Why don't you want to be with the guys? Last point I'm making, and I got you. You got
to go ahead.
Women have opportunities to be with men that would love to be with them, but they don't meet the standard. So those women are willingly just saying no to those dudes. But the man that want to be with you is likely at your range of what you can attract for longevity, not just for sex. But now you can go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm not saying all guys I deal with or most of the guys I deal with just want sex. No, I'm just saying like not everybody's coming to you for the intentions of being in a relationship.
What
You see
other
what I'm saying? You have
intentions would it be,
to,
Ray?
that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying men just come to me for sex. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, you still have to use discernment when dealing with people, and then you have to dissect the red flags that you see within those people, or you talking to them, because it's not like I'm shallow. I'm not that shallow. Like, I'm not shallow at
Well, you
all.
willing to throw out 85% of men, that's pretty shallow. But I'm gonna say this.
No, it's not. I said he couldn't be at least, I'm like, yeah, 6 foot or taller, but I said that he can at least be like, I'm short, like I said. So it's like 5'8", 5'9".
Actually,
He holds
what's the
out to
minimum
me
height for Raven? You said 6 feet.
at least, but I said at least. I'm not saying that's the end all be all, because I dated a guy that was like 5'9".
Raven, what do you think at least means?
At least.
What does at least mean? What does that mean?
It means that at least is 6 foot, but at the same time, I have an open mind.
No, that's not what at least means. At least means that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be right. That's like saying this is a shoe because I said it's a shoe. This is not a shoe. This is a phone. At least means that that's the minimum, meaning you won't go under that. So when I ask you what's the minimum height of a man that is to date Raven, and you say 6 feet, at least that means anything 6 feet or above. That doesn't mean, well, at least 6 feet, but then I'm gonna go deal with a guy that's 5'9". No, I asked you what's the minimum height. You said 6 feet.
At least, yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
So I mean, at least means that's like your floor is 6 feet, so nothing up under 6 feet.
Okay, that's cool.
All right. So if you throwing out 85% of men, that's pretty much that's a lot of guys. I mean, you only willing to talk to the top 14% of men, and you not alone. That's a majority of women.
That's the majority of women, right? Okay, so you're basically saying be realistic and lower the standards. That's
I didn't tell you to lower your standards. I'm not. I don't never.
I'm just saying, like you just said, be realistic and understand that it's only 14% out here. So, instead of just trying to give more guys a chance.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I don't.
That's what I'm interpreting.
But let me clarify. I don't really tell women to lower their standards. I try to give women logic to have a different perspective on their standard. So if you want to say that I only want to talk to guys that's 6 feet plus, cool. You could do that. But understand that only 14% of men are above 6 feet. And you got to understand, take away the men that are gay. That 14% may turn into 10%. Take away the men that are already married. Well, that 10% now turns into 8%. Take away the men who already have girlfriends. Well, that 8% now turns into 7% or 6%. Let's say 7. We'll take away the men that are ugly, that are too light skinned, that are too dark skinned, that are broke, that are their hairline's fucked up. Take away the dudes that's musty. Take away the dudes that are not romantic. Take away the dudes that every single perspective of men. Now you talking about the 1% of men. So basically what you're saying is I'm a good woman. I'm only dating the 1% of men, but the 1% of men don't want me. Well, what are you expecting? We only dealing with a small percentage of men. What about the 85% of other men that's 5'8"? He too short. Well, that's your fault.
Right. Okay. I definitely understand. I can actually take in that advice, So that's all I want to know. It was just for me because you always I watch your show a lot and you always talk about how women, the reason why some women can't get what they want is because they're this, because they're that, and I'm just like, I'm the total opposite of that. So it's like, what's the reason? But then,
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Yeah, you're 30. So you're not 21.
Okay.
So you being 30 is gonna make it harder for you to date.
At Chumley 248 super chatted $10. Thank you, sir. Why wouldn't a guy want to get the best version of women that he couldn't get before? A lot of these older women are just jealous their options have dried up. Man shrugging emoji.
Man shrugging emoji. That's a good point. Well, with you being 30, you said you have
no kids.
With no kids. Have you ever been pregnant?
No.
Okay. Well, you 30. That's good. That's good. You 30. Just because you don't have kids, don't take it away that you're still 30. Now, you being 30 don't mean you can't get a man, but you being 30 is gonna take away from some men that are gonna want to be with you, because men tend to date women in their prime, which is gonna be in their mid to early 20s. You being 30 is not in your prime no more. You 5 years from high risk pregnancy. You less than 5 because you're already 30.
Unless, I date older men. I try to date men within my age range, but they be too immature mentally. So,
Well, I tell women to date older men, but the thing is, with the older man, you're gonna have to be on code. You're gonna have to listen. You're gonna have to do what the fuck he say. That older man that's 42, he ain't playing with you. You're gonna have to get on the program. And a lot of women that's 30 ain't trying to get on the program because you think, well, I got my career, I'm a nurse, I'm a this, I'm a that, I ain't gotta do. So that's
not all women are the same, sir. I'm able to literally sit there and listen.
That's cool. How many men that's in their early 40s are above 6 feet, make a lot of money, are attractive, and not gonna have kids, and that's gonna be romantic, and that's gonna be not DL and all the you're looking for. Most men that's around that age have children and they probably married. If they're not married, they have a history of relationships. Maybe they divorced. Maybe they got a lot of strained relationships in their past. So you dealing with those men that's been in the game already. So it's like, it's not as clear cut. It's not easy. So yeah, I ain't saying you can't get a man. I ain't tell you that at all. I'm just telling you that the dating market don't get easier as you get older. And at 30, you pass your prime.
So what do you think I should do as a 30-year-old woman and past my prime?
You should open up your options more than just the top 14% of men when it comes to height. But I think you should realize, okay, if this is what I'm looking for, and if I want a rare man that's above 6 feet and all of this shit, cool, you can stay with that. What are you doing where that man that exists want to be with Raven? Why would he want to be with Raven? And he don't give a fuck about your career. He don't give a fuck about your education. He don't give a fuck about your money. You know what he wants you to do? You know how to cook?
Yeah.
He wants you to cook. You know how to clean?
Yeah.
He wants you to clean?
I've been cleaning baseboards. I was raised with an older parent. My mother is like 60-some years old. So and then she's from Louisiana, so I had to learn how to cook and clean. That's what comes with territory, especially being from the South.
You know,
most women from the South. So
I ain't most women from the South, but you may have had parents.
One woman I know from the South. You see what I'm saying?
You know how to be quiet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure?
Being quiet is cool. Yeah. I was quiet this whole time.
You're supposed to just be quiet right then and there. But that's going to so with that being the case, if you're dealing with that man, right? You're a Raven, and you're not a bad looking woman. I'm looking at you. You're not an ugly woman at all. You a cute woman, and you're not a bad looking woman. You need to be exuding the things that man is gonna be looking for. And when he married, when he wants you to be his woman, guess what? Ain't no girls trips, ain't no male friends, ain't no being cool with exes, ain't no hanging with the girls going to the club, ain't no alcohol, ain't no smoking, ain't no drinking, ain't no tattoos, ain't
one thing about me. When I'm in a relationship, I respect my relationship.
It's before you get into you gotta do that before, not when you get in.
Huh?
You gotta do all of those things I just mentioned well before the man come around because you gotta attract.
I'm like that right now. Like I don't go on girls trips. I barely even go to the clubs. Like I
the club, but you go to the club. Ain't no good women at the club. Not one of them is a good one.
No, I'm saying if I went, it was an invitation to like a birthday party or something.
Damn, I don't give a damn what it was. Ain't no good man finna be with a woman at the club. You don't need to be in the club.
Well, I can't go to a friend event or anything like that. Like, I can go to the dinner, but I can't go to the club.
See what I mean? See what I mean?
No, I'm asking you. I can go to a dinner, but I'm not supposed to go to the club.
What about the club makes you a wife?
Okay.
Exactly.
True.
Okay. My point of the matter is, you going to the club is going to be an issue for a lot of men. They won't say it because they don't want to be called controlling and narcissistic. I'm going to say it because I know what I'm a man and know how to work. You don't need to get no damn club. If you want to be with a man, you get on his program and you operate like a wife well before he come around. That's how it go.
So if a friend just say, "Oh, I have a dinner," then I gotta go. We're going to the club later. To just go to the dinner and don't go to the club.
Well, who is this friend? Because it also depends on the type of woman that she is.
Most of my friends, one is a real estate investor. Not real estate. No, actually, one's a real estate. The other one's a nurse. Go ahead.
We don't care about none of that. Nurses is the highest career path that women choose when they cheat. We don't care about none of that. We talking about this. Who that woman is. So her mentality is gonna be the thing that man is gonna focus on. So I don't want my woman around no woman that's gonna destroy our relationship. So if you was my lady, if you going out with your girls' friends and y'all going to dinner or y'all going to brunch or whatever it is, cool. That's no issue.
Okay.
But I'm gonna know
Okay.
who. But listen, I'm gonna know who your bestie is. I'm gonna know who your 2-3 friends is. And if I feel like these three women or 2 women are not good enough, or I don't feel like they're good influences, I'm not gonna talk to you regardless. But some men, they'll be like, all right, I'm gonna deal with you, but you're not finna be around them no more. A lot of women, that's where the issue come in at, because they can't see what the man can see.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense on that span. Yeah, that
Y'all
does
be
make
more
sense.
loyal to your friends than you do your man, and that's why you're single. And your friends want to eat your coochie, but you just don't want to pay attention to it.
Okay. Never went that way.
I ain't saying you did that. I'm not speaking on you. I'm speaking hypothetically. A lot of your women's friends be homosexuals.
But whenever I had, a man or whatever, my friends never became in between it or anything like that.
I didn't say they did. I'm just giving you.
I'm just letting you know.
For sure, that's good.
But that was about it though. Thank you for allowing me to come up, and I just wanted to have a question regarding that because that was one of the things.
All right.
But I never, I never seen nobody ask you. Everybody came on here just being mad, and I'm just like, okay, well.
Well, I appreciate you coming up, and good luck to you.
You too. Goodbye.
All right. That's real. A lot of y'all female friends, the reason why they don't want you, girl, you gonna listen to him and not go to my birthday dinner? We not friends no more. That's because she want to get you drunk off mimosas and eat your coochie, and your friend is a homosexual. And I would advise you men to not deal with women who are homosexual. If you're dealing with a woman, you need to be only dealing with a woman that is straight. Do not deal with women that operate in homosexuality, because that's not gonna be a good woman to be around at all, in no type of way. And nobody want to talk about that shit though, but it's real. A lot of you talk about gay men a lot and how you don't want to be around that. Wait a minute, gay. Okay, cool. For sure. Keep the logic across the board when it comes to women. Don't have an issue with homosexuality whenever it's just not beneficial for you because you're not gay. You shouldn't support women being gay either, but you do that because you led by your lust, you weirdo ass. You can be mad at me, I don't give a, but I call us all the time. All right, we're gonna do like 2 more people, then we're gonna call it. How you doing?
How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm good. Okay, if I have a few questions. What's the end goal of your content? Like, are you just collecting data, or is it going to be like a dating thing at the end, or how does it work?
What's my end goal?
Yeah.
My end goal is to well, first of all, if we speaking in modern society, the majority of the people that's in the modern day dating market, especially in my generation, don't know about nothing when it comes to relationships, making it work long term, whatever it may be. The initial start of this was because if you look, especially in the Black community, and I don't really like try to make it about race that much, but if you look at the Black community, the majority of us grew up in single parent households. The father not there, the mother there, struggling like that. So I want to have these conversations because most of us don't grow up with both parents in the home where it's going to be structure and it's going to be order. Most of us grow up on this right here. So I like to have these conversations specifically with any generation, but more specifically with this younger generation, because people need to know better when it comes to how they date. Because a lot of the communities come to that. But that's what was the start of it, to have these conversations and speak to that, to try to have try to have advancement on that. But it just turned into people like to hear it, and I'll let anybody come up now because it's an open conversation for anybody. And in America, we need to have these conversations. So that's the goal, for people to get enlightened. That's the goal, I would say.
Okay, cool. Do you think dating is attached to people's purpose?
If they don't want to date, they don't got to date. Then the conversation ain't for them. Who gives?
Okay. So when the people that's coming on your live and they're asking questions like, what should I do? I'm 29, I'm 30, whatever the case may be. They give you their resume, their makeup page to potentially date. Trying to figure out how to put this in text format because I'm kind of nervous a little bit. And I really wasn't expecting you to pick me, but yeah. So like when people come on here and they do ask questions in relevance to them dating, like how, if you feel that it's not purposeful to their connection, then how is the advice really given? Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't make sense, because if somebody's calling up, then clearly they want to know.
Right.
So I'm saying if you don't feel like it's attached to a purpose, because I don't feel like it's attached to everybody's purpose. Dating is not
So
attached
if
to
you don't feel like it's
everybody's
attached to every purpose, then I'm not the barometer of what people feel like internally. Internally, I'm not the overseer of that. So somebody personally calls on my show. You ask me a question.
I'm not saying that you are.
You ask me a question.
I'm
I'm
not
giving you
saying
an
that you
answer.
are.
You ask me a question. I'm giving you an answer. Hold on. If somebody calls into the live, they clearly know what the live is about, the conversations we'll be having, what the content is. So if they're requesting to come up to give a perspective, I'm not the one that's going to tell them this ain't your purpose. Who am I to say that other than the purpose of the person that I'm talking to? So it's for them to come up and they ask me a question. Then I'm gonna give them my perspective because they're asking me a question because they want to know. If somebody feel like it ain't for them, then we don't need to talk. It is what it is. They just don't have to come up. It's really simple. It's not rocket science.
Right. That's why I was asking, like, what was the purpose? Like, what was the end goal of your?
I told you, for people to get enlightened when it comes to the modern day dating market, family values, putting the family back intact, putting a man in a household, putting a woman in a household, raising children, and fixing the American family unit across the board, but specifically in the Black community. But the conversation is open for everybody. That's what's the goal and the purpose is. I told you that. So if somebody feels like, and most people that call into the show want to be married, they want a boyfriend, they want to be married, they want a girlfriend, they want a wife, they want a husband, then they call into the show because it's clearly what my foundation is. So if they don't want that as their purpose, then they don't have to be in here. It's not over for them. Have a good day. That's how I feel about it.
Okay, I'm just asking. I'm just wondering. You know, I don't want to take them. I'm just asking.
Okay, so what's your goal for coming up here?
Honestly, I was gonna have a topic, but I kind of got nervous, and so it was just like I don't even want to talk about it no more because I kind of got nervous. But yeah.
Okay, so is anything else?
No, not really. I had a topic at first, but kind of, got a little nervous. But it's okay. I'm not really camera savvy or whatever. But
you camera savvy on that page with your booty out. You definitely camera savvy.
What that picture? Oh, that's a nice shot right there. That's a nice shot.
I don't know. I think it's funny that like the modern woman is okay to be camera savvy when it comes to sexualizing yourself, but when having an intellectual
So you
like,
think
I'm not camera savvy. Oh, no, that's kind of funny.
So you think that's sexualizing myself, or am I using that as a prop?
Yeah, I think that's sexualizing yourself 100%.
Okay, so how is that sexualizing myself?
Because you showing your sitting on a sink to look a certain way. You turned around and showing your ass. That's how it's sexualizing yourself.
Why does it have to be looked at as that? Why it just can't be me embracing my femininity, my beauty?
A feminine woman wouldn't have a bunch of tattoos. A feminine woman wouldn't have fake. Let me finish what I'm trying to say. You don't need to ad lib. Okay, you asked me a question. I'm giving you an answer. I don't need you to input. Now I have to mute you. A feminine woman is not going to have her sitting on a sink. A feminine woman is not going to have tattoos all over her body like you do. A feminine woman is not going to have fake lashes, makeup, and all this fake stuff to exude what their actually feminine beauty actually is. A feminine woman is going to be natural, and she's going to operate in modesty, class, and respect. That's what a feminine woman is going to do. But see, a modern woman like yourself doesn't understand femininity because you probably were never told the correct things, and you let society and the world dictate your opinions, and you let that lead you to destruction, which is why on your page, you sexualize yourself in almost every single photo. You got tattoos on your face. You got tattoos all on your body. You got a bunch of different hairstyles and piercings and makeup and lashes and a bunch of fake shit because you coping with the fact that you are hurt inside. That's what most people do, unfortunately. So I think that this conversation is great for people like yourself because I can get you out of that and start to understand what your true femininity is, sweetie. And you a beautiful Black woman who don't need your ass out. You don't need tattoos. You don't need lashes. You don't need fake shit. You don't need to sexualize yourself on the internet for attention and validation because you're beautiful as what you are. You can embrace your natural hair. You can do all those things and still exist by yourself. But I'm the one who just hate women because I'm telling you to be yourself. But I'm telling women to be modest, respectful, and classy so they can be looked at and have a better outcome in the dating market. So that's why I do what I do. So that's my answer to your question.
So is that the patriarchy standard? And stop muting me. Let me talk.
You can't talk over me. That's not your platform. So I'm gonna mute you. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. You can go take it up with your baby daddy. Anyway, see, women like you need to be eradicated. When I say eradicated, I don't mean physically or I mean that figuratively, meaning you need to be extradited away. And we need to draw a line in the sand for women like yourself, the women who operate like you, and the women who don't operate like you. And it's so because so many women who don't operate like you will still co-sign you simply because you're a woman, not because you operate in any type of class and dignity. See, I'm a man. And what we need is more black males, specifically younger black males, that's gonna lead and that's gonna make it right. A lot of you black men don't want to do that. I'm willing to take the heat. And when it comes to these conversations, you best believe I'm gonna call you on your shit, but I'm not gonna go back and forth with you because you're a woman at the end of the day. You don't have no say so. This is a dictatorship. Now get in that kitchen and cook. That's what I said. Jokes aside, though, women like you are the issue in the modern day dating market, and it's more up that men deal with women like yourself. You're not even the biggest problem. It's the men that deal with you and don't hold you accountable for your. What's going on?
Say what's up, bro.
What's up?
Let me
turn your camera on for me.
Shh. Damn, I'm not doing it right. Can you see me?
Not yet, but it'll probably pop up. Hit your camera, then hit save. There we go. What's going on with you?
Say what's up, G. Man, I just want to salute you, bro. I feel like the topics that you're touching on is so many. It's so many men who are afraid to talk about it, simply because, like, I guess the controversial topics and people try to run away from it. But I just wanted to salute you, man. I'm in a situation myself dealing with the fact that women are so easily persuaded by what they're seeing on social media, and like basically the modernized woman. And I honestly wanted to present something to you, a topic or a subject matter.
You said, hold on, just real quick. I appreciate you coming up, but you said
Yeah, for sure.
you're dealing with a situation yourself.
Yeah.
Being with the modern woman and how they are influenced by social media. Okay, explain that. And I don't know if you heard me. This isn't the let's just come up and just agree with just talking bad on women, because I don't talk bad on women. I'm speaking to, yeah, because I'm speaking. I always speak to an archetype of woman or the individual.
No.
This ain't all. So this ain't none of that.
Yeah, I'm not that type of person. I'm not a misogynistic type. I'm definitely here to, enlighten just as well as you are.
So
you get what I'm saying?
What's your perspective on how it, not to cut you off, but what's your perspective on how it pertains to you within the conversation? Let's get on that.
Say it again.
I said, what's your perspective on how it pertains to you within this conversation when you mentioned like you dealing with something yourself? Like, what's up with that situation?
Okay, well, I'm saying that because I was married for 13 years.
Okay.
I got married when I was 19. I started really early. I'm from a small town, and I was, raised up in the church. So I was kind of like, coerced to do things the right way. You get what I mean? So I got married very young, had 3 children. Me and my wife are currently right now, we're going through a divorce, right? Okay. I say that to say that I guess I was very young in that time being. So I guess all of the mistakes and the trauma and everything kind of caught up to me during the time, like, I guess for now. But I'm saying that to say that my significant other was persuaded by the social media idea of what marriage and relationship and everything was supposed to look like. You get what I mean? And it caused so many different problems in our relationship and in our marriage, if that makes any sense.
Okay, so what's your question that you have based on that?
I guess my question for that would be not even necessarily a question, honestly. And I'm not being bashful. I guess for me it would be, if I was to ask a question, why is it so difficult for women when it comes to being in a committed relationship and then having to deal with the word submissive? Why does that become, you get what I'm saying? Like, why is that?
Yeah, so it stems from childhood and the things that they're taught. Not only that, in these relationships, the men that they're with don't demand it. The men that they're with don't set that as a precedent. The men that they're with don't give a program up front. See, any woman I'm going to deal with, you're going to get a program up front. There are things that I'm okay with and things that I'm not okay with. You're going to do this and do this and do this, and you're not going to do this, do this, and do this. And if that's not something that you want to be a part of, that's cool. We can go our separate ways. But see, most men, specifically most modern men, don't do that because they're scared, weak, and they're scared of the woman that they're with while also claiming to be a leader. You have to make sure that you tell a woman up front, leaders, men, this is how this relationship is going to go. and you already know during the vetting process, as a leader and as a man, you should know better than a woman what true submission looks like. And a lot of these modern men, a lot of these young guys don't understand that. And they get into these situations, they get into these relationships, and they dealing with a woman, and they're like, well, I don't like this. I don't like this. Instead of checking at the door, they don't. They wait and linger.
Yeah.
Because this probably woman that's giving them some, they don't want to lose out on it. They're being honest with a woman. Most men lie to women. And I would argue that that's the biggest issue that most men operate under is they lie to women, don't tell women the truth, and then they get surprised why women operate in the way that they do. You can't be scared of the pushback. Yeah, they're going to get mad. Yeah, they're going to cry and complain. Who gives you a man? You got to tell women exactly what it is at the door. So, yeah, I will argue that it's childhood, it's social media, society, but at the end of the day, the biggest influence you're going to have on your woman is yourself because you with her, you deal with her on a day-to-day basis. So it's not the social media fault. It's not the friend's fault. It's not the family fault. It's not even necessarily the man's fault, but the biggest influence is going to be the man himself because you got to make sure your woman is in check. If she ain't in check, then shit, you ain't checking it broad enough.
I guess I can't disagree with that point. It's so many different things that you can kind of put into play that could have made the relationship have so many issues. And I take accountability for my mistakes too. I was extremely young. I had no business getting married that young. You get what I'm saying? So,
brother, respectfully, that's not an excuse. If you grown enough to have sex, you grown enough to be married, you grown enough to vote, go to school, drive a car, have a kid, you grown enough to deal with the responsibilities that come with marriage. Your age and being a young man, that don't mean a thing. I don't let women get that, and I don't let men get that.
I guess for me, okay, so my excuse for that would be considering the fact that I wasn't raised with the man with my father in the household, right?
So what?
So here's the thing, right? Not necessarily knowing how to, and I can take accountability and say at that particular time of my life, I didn't know how to lead a woman. You get what I'm saying? I was just doing what I thought was best, religious. You get what I'm saying?
This is the thing, though. So what? When you become an adult and when you become a young man and you start living this life and you start operating as a young man, there is no more excuses. Nobody cares about how you grew up. Don't nobody owe us understanding. I can't be with a woman and say, well, damn, well, the reason why I don't treat you right is because my daddy, who gives a I wish a woman would come to me and say, well, my mommy and daddy didn't teach me how to be submissive and didn't teach me how to cook. I don't give a get the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? Because what about the women who is taught how to do that? What about the man who is taught how to do that? Well, if you don't know, then hey, that's on you. Yeah, it's generational curses. It matters, and what your parents teach you and don't teach you, of course, that matter. But when you become an adult, man, my generation. I don't know how old are you, bro?
I'm 32.
You 32. You a few years older than me, bro. So, but technically, we in the same generation. At the end of the day, man, this is the most excuse-making generation in the world. All we do is make excuses about everything when we got more resources and knowledge and books more than any generation has ever lived before. So we should be the last making excuses about what we can and can't do because we grown enough to do everything damn else. That's my thing. So if we can't be in a relationship and know how to move and cooperate with a woman, then we shouldn't be voting. We shouldn't be drinking. We shouldn't be doing nothing that adults do in general. We should all be like, I'm gonna wait till I'm 37 or 28, then I'm gonna figure it out. So I don't know. I just don't use that as an excuse. I just don't, and I don't let nobody do that.
And like I said, I can take 100% accountability for the decision that I made, considering the fact that I was extremely young. And like you say, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. Now, being 32 and have lived and have experienced being married.
Real quick, so no disrespect. Somebody said, "How you 30?" I'm not 20. I'm not talking to you, Celestial. I'm not 26. So get your facts straight. I'm not 26. You ever say that stupid in the chat? I'm not 26. And even if I was, clearly I know what the I'm talking about because you're sitting here watching corny fake page. So clearly I know something because you in this. So instead of coming at my age or come at something I said wrong, you can't do that. Now go ahead. My fault.
Yeah.
Corny. Go ahead.
But no, I take 100% accountability for it, bro. And like I'm not running from it at all. And you get what I'm saying? I think throughout time, definitely resentment definitely set in on both sides. You get what I'm saying? Considering the fact that, we both weren't taught properly, I guess, and didn't seek out the information to educate ourselves on how to be.
That's the one.
You get what I'm saying?
Got the information, which means you could have, but you didn't. That's accountability. I'll look there you go. For sure. I can respect that.
And I take accountability for that, for sure. Right now, I'm just in the space now where I am relearning and reteaching and just kind of like erasing all of the bad habits and like trying to input, good behavior there to like teach myself moving forward how to be a lot better because I do have 2 boys that I'm raising. But I don't know. I guess in that, I can't really, which I never ever pointed the finger, right? But I can't really say like, I don't know. I just feel like when you talk about being in a relationship with a woman, the moment that, you try to take charge or you try or not try, but necessarily do take charge, it's always some type of issue or it's always a problem or you get what I'm saying?
That's where my pushback is. That has to be, that don't start in marriage. That start well before marriage. You have to put your foot down from day one. A woman needs to know what your foundation is and that you got a backbone and you're not moving off of it. So it don't start like when I'm married, then I started putting my foot down and she just didn't respect it. No, you put your foot down day one and let her know what the fuck going on. And if she don't want to accept it, then she gotta go. At least if she go, then you don't got to deal with that. That's what I mean. That's the point I'm making. So you gotta do. I tell men all the time, bro. I don't know how long you've been watching my content. Any young guy that watch my content, I tell them dudes all the time. Stop being scared to be a man. And the internet and these phones and our mamas and sometimes the fathers too makes us feel like we wrong for being a man. Now there are things that men do that are wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that being a man comes with leadership and setting a program. You gotta set a program for the woman that you're dealing with. She gotta know what's okay, what's not okay, and how you finna move in this relationship. And if she don't know that, and then you want to do that 2 years after y'all got together, then you operate back. That's like me dating a stripper and then get mad because she's stripping. Well, why do I date a stripper if I don't want to be with no stripper? You got male friends. Well, I knew the broad had male friends from day one when I started talking to her. So I'm gonna get mad 6 months, 8 months later when the broad got male friends. You know what I'm saying? You have to be that way from day one. But a lot of guys are scared because why? They don't want to be called insecure. I don't want her to be mad at me because these niggas is pussy whipped. And that's what's wrong with the average modern man. They're weak. And they wonder why the women is all over the place because it's weak. Not you, meaning you, men in general, is weak.
You know and I'm gonna be honest, I can definitely say that at one particular time, I was simping. You get what I'm saying? I was simping. I ain't gonna lie. I can say that. I was simping a little bit, man. I ain't gonna lie. I got 7 brothers. You get what I'm saying? So hey, my brother called me like, hey, say man, you need to stand up. What's fuck? Why you acting that way? You get what I'm saying? Because of the simple fact of it came down to the point where I was doing so much for the sake of unity for my family, for my children. You get what I'm saying? Wanting us in the same household and just really wanted to be there every day with my children so I can raise them. And you get what I'm saying? It's just one of my family. So I ain't gonna lie, I simped up a little bit, but now I'm stepping back into my. I'm stepping 100% back into, you get what I'm saying, my masculinity as far as like leading my boys and, teaching them how to be men and definitely teaching my daughter how to be modest and, how to present herself in this day and age, because that's something that I really feel like is missing when it comes to women. And like I said, I'm not here to bash women at all. You get what I'm saying? And as a man, I take 100% accountability for anything. You get what I'm saying? I can take it on the chin and keep rolling because I'm a man. But at the same time, I just feel like, that submissive title and it's so much, it's really deep. I mean, I can get deeper into it because I feel like over time people do change. You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that she was always that way. She wasn't. She was very sweet, nice. And then over time, as resentment set in, that's when I begin to see a total different person. You get what I'm saying? And then that's when all of the problems begin to surface.
Well, yeah, you got to go through that from the jump, brother. You got to do that before you get married, and you got to put your foot down and let her know what the fuck going on with before you get married, man. You got to do that shit from day one.
Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to say that real quick. I actually just started watching your content, bro, and I really like what you do. I love the fact that you're extremely young, man, and you get what I'm saying? Like, you have that leadership, that energy, man, that aura about yourself, and you get what I'm saying? And I really appreciate that. It was also one more thing I wanted to touch on real quick. Because I heard, when the woman came on and she was talking about basically being married and saying that it's not a prereq, right, to be able to give instruction or to be able to give advice.
Yeah.
And I agree with her, but I also disagree. And the reason being is because I feel like
that's not logical. You can't agree and disagree unless you just add in context. But then you wouldn't be agreeing or disagreeing, be adding context.
Well, the reason I agree is because I feel like, okay,
You
who
feel
who are we
you feel like I hear you said it a lot. You feel
okay,
like
so who we talking about, right? So like if we're talking about a man, right, taking on the title of husband, then it's like you have to be a husband. Like, and if you're a wife, and if you're a woman, then you have to already be a wife. And that's what I mean when I say like
what do you
a
mean?
person.
Explain that.
Okay, so it says when a man finds a wife, right, he finds it a good thing and obtain a favor from the Lord, right? It doesn't say when a man finds a woman. It says when a man finds a wife. I don't believe that every woman is a wife, and I don't believe that, and I don't believe that every man is a husband. So that's what I mean when I say I disagree with a man or a woman completely like being able to give advice about marriage, because not every woman is a wife and not every man is a
Yeah, but you
husband.
wouldn't be disagreeing with that. This is my point. You would be adding
No,
context that it's not an absolute, but I don't think anybody said it was an absolute.
yeah, I'm saying I agree and disagree. You
But
get what I
see,
mean? Like I agree
brother,
and
I don't think you understand what you even saying. You're not disagreeing with it. You just saying it's not an absolute. To state the
exactly.
point, but that's not a disagreement. You're adding context, which is what my point was. You're not disagreeing with the point. You're saying
Yeah,
yes, every man that you're saying that yes, somebody can still say something that's correct, whether they're a wife or a husband, but that doesn't mean everybody can do it, right?
exactly.
So you're not disagreeing. You're just adding context. That's not a disagreement.
Exactly.
You agree with context.
Because a woman who is carrying herself like a hoe, or how can you give advice to a woman about being a wife, but you don't conduct yourself like a wife? And that's what I
okay.
mean.
So okay, then,
Same
but
thing as
that
man.
wouldn't.
A man is a hormone.
But that wouldn't make okay. Let's say if the person who was the whore, this woman speaking on, said something that's correct.
What you mean? Like if they say something like by mistake, or
No, they said something. Okay, let me ask you this: if a says you shouldn't cheat on your husband, is she right or is she wrong?
she's right. That's like basic.
Doesn't matter if it's basic. The logic is not about what's the standard of basic and not basic. The logic is what you said, and this is how a lot of women think. You can't say something unless you are a part of said thing you speaking on. So I have to be gay to say that two men having sex is gay.
No, now you don't have to be. But
Okay, then. So then you don't disagree.
okay, I get that. But I'm saying like I don't know. I just feel like every topic, like
You feel like I think that's the problem. You arguing a feelings based argument. You're not making a logical based argument, brother.
I believe. I'll say that, right? I believe.
You believe
Every
a belief system is something that you can't. When you say it's a belief system, that's a belief system that you cannot prove. Like I could believe that astrology is real, but I can't prove it. It's not. That's a belief system. So that's still like it's like basically you arguing your feelings. You're still back at square one.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm arguing my feelings. It's a mandate because it's like okay.
Oh boy.
All right. We even really don't have to keep going on that topic.
Go there. No. We didn't have no. Because this is what I be meaning respectfully. Modern men, I'm gonna say that, are delusional, and I think you're delusional right now. I think you're being delusional because you're not making a logical point. If you just said that you have to be, I gave you the example of if the who's not married says don't cheat on your husband, married women, she's not wrong because she's not married. She's still correct. She just so happens to be. That's why I gave you another form of logic. If I'm a heterosexual male, I don't have to be gay to say that two dudes having sex is gay. I can analyze and I still have comments. I can analyze and still have common sense. I don't have to have a phone or manufacture a phone or own a phone to say that you can use a phone to call somebody. I don't have to have a phone to say that. I don't have to own a business to say that, well, when you own a business, you should probably do right by your customers, be on time, make sure the product is good, and have good customer service. I don't have to own a business to say that. That doesn't make me wrong because I'm not a business owner. That's the point that I'm trying to make. And I get that a lot from a lot of older dudes, specifically, for whatever reason, most old, but they never attack my points. They attack just my age. And I asked them, okay, say what I say is wrong. Well, you young, you don't know nothing. You ain't never been married. Okay, well, say what I say is wrong. You just young. Okay, then we don't got a point. You just arguing your feelings.
Got you. I got you. I get what you're saying. And I guess for me, it was just, I guess like you said, it's more contextual. You get what I'm saying? More context based upon like whether or not if it's a.
Sure, you can say it's more context, but it's not that. I don't think. I think it goes without saying. But yeah, more context is you can say that.
Yeah, I guess it's more context based, but yeah, man, I watch you heavy, man, and I've been watching your content, your content for a little bit lately, and I love the fact that how you standing on business and shit, and you get what I'm saying, and yeah, I appreciate it, bro, and I appreciate the advice, man. You a real young dog in charge. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you coming up, bro. Much love.
For sure, bro.
For sure. All right, y'all. That's about it for the day, man. Make sure y'all go follow me on IG. Y'all don't got me on IG, go follow me on IG. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Anybody need to book a session? If you don't want to speak about your situation publicly, this is public. So just know that you public in front of thousands of people. So your situation is out there to the public. It's free if you come up. You can also book a private consultation with me. Hit the link in my bio and you can book a session. I'm available 24/7. Hit the link in my bio and download the app. You cannot book unless the app is downloaded. Download the app on your phone. I'm available 24/7 and I'm gonna help you with the same people we don't hear. It's just gonna be confidential and 100% private. You know what I'm saying? So if you book with me, you didn't book with me. I don't know you, you don't know me, unless you put it out there. It's under the contract that I can't say you consider. So if you come up on if you book a session, it's private and I got you and I'm gonna help you whatever you need, man or woman. Do not book with me asking me things that don't have nothing to do with what I speak about. I speak about dating relationships and I give people advice. Do not book with me asking me how do I open up my financial portfolio. We gonna both be sitting there looking stupid because I'm not the person to go talk to that. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, book a session. You know what I'm saying? Go follow me on IG, like I said, man. Go follow the Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. All this content that y'all see on this TikTok, all on my YouTube. Most of it, some of it is not. It's on my YouTube. So y'all can go to my YouTube channel and watch all playback and all that. What else I was gonna say? And yeah, man. Any content that y'all see on TikTok, this the only page I got. I don't post content on TikTok, so all the content y'all see, all little pages, none of that is me. There's people making clips of me and all that. And that's about it, man. Y'all have a good rest of your day. I'm about to work on these videos. I've been on stream for a little minute. Work on editing these videos. Appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. And I appreciate y'all coming through.